fine. He's fine with whatever them I do and say. When them I criticize other people, it's fun to him. But if them ever start talk bad about him, he was gonna say hell to the no. Then I dismiss him TikTok for if you know come roast me. That's exactly what he gonna say. I saw. Let me get that book here. You know, my friend give me that book here. I'm going to read the book, you see. I'm gonna start read it yet. Lethal Seduction. Never read a book there yet. Lethal Seduction. Who like book reading? Anybody here like book reading? Anybody here like read book? Nobody? Who not like read book? Really? Who not like reading? Oh, why? Oh my. Oh, this no. Oh my. Oh my. Oh no. Oh me love reading. This year we never did it too much. We never did it too much. Last year we did a walloping. Last night we read a total of maybe like how many people them there? How many books we read last year? 15? 20? Oh my goodness. Last year we did a great job. This year we never did do so much. Overton in the place, Mr. Murderer. Overton, what's up? What's up, Overton? How you doing? How you preparing for the new year? Because you're going to see New Year long before we do. I'm going to be off New Year's Eve, you know? Yeah, I'm going to be off. New Year's Eve day, I'm going to work. The day after tomorrow. Watch yourself. Juggy said I'm only read for work because I'm a PM. Otherwise, I'm not. Otherwise, him not read nothing. Lord have mercy. Let me tell you something. Overton, so nothing special for the new year. Me love reading. Me love reading. I love it. Yeah, would you read what was my favorite book? Was it the best book that we read last year before last? Dirty Little Secrets. Remember that book there? Jesus have mercy. Oh my word. And On This Foundation. I like the book On This Foundation. You know them say it's a series? Them say it's a series. It's like they create these novels around the Bible stories. It is so interesting. So interesting. That novel was created around the story of King Artaxerxes sending what the man did name again? No remember, yeah, man. I don't remember too. Yeah, what it send. That story is around ancient. It's an ancient Hebrew story, ancient Bible story, where King Artaxerxes tried to reestablish Jerusalem, tried to rebuild Israel, something like that. Very interesting, but they do it in such a novel form that it is beautiful, because it shows, how the patriarchy of the time excluded the women from just about everything. And how this one girl, there were three daughters the man had, and how when it was his turn to contribute to the building of Jerusalem, he had to have sons. That was like their law. Like, you must contribute to the community, but you must have sons to contribute to the building. And the girls were like, well, we got hands too. We can help to build this city as well. And everybody was pushing back, saying, no, 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 no. And the girls went out there, sling hammer, carry stone, do everything for help build the community. And after their father, and then their father passed away. But it was a very, very, very nice book. I don't know if I still have it or I give it to it. Because once me finish reading them, there's no point in keeping them. You know, it just make the place having too many books. So we just read them and get rid of them. Yeah. And we also read Harry's book, The Spear. Yeah, that one was lovely. Me love read if you make money. Me bright, you see. Me love study and me I go make juggies. Juggies are sample, you know. Juggies say love study where we love read where they might go make money. Well, who not like read if you make money? Yeah. Yeah, me just read for fun. Me just read for fun. And the book that somebody give me, the back covering gone, but it's a Lethal Seduction by Jackie Collins. I bet it's good. I bet you it is good. And I have no whole heap of pages, just like 400 and something pages. Let me see if she have one little epilogue or something. Let me see. Yeah, I want like an epilogue. Joel Blaine vanished into the night. For weeks and months, Leon Blaine waited for a phone call from his son's kidnappers demanding an enormous ransom, but none came. He was as puzzled and mystified as everyone else, but not that sad. 6 weeks later, he married Marika in a civil ceremony conducted on a yacht cruising off the coast of Sardinia. She did not sign a prenuptial. That sounds good. That sounds good. Who are married these days without prenup? Oh, no mad. Especially if you have something. How was the spear? You do think Harry was honest? Listen, I love the book. I think he was honest because of how raw it was. It did not seem like the stories were like they tried to polish the story raised to make them more palatable for palace consumers. That's why I think they were real. Yeah. That's why I think they were real. Because I'm always saying like, otherwise if he was telling a lie, he would have to, polish up everything and fix it up. Flex, what's up? What are you doing? Yeah, you would have to polish it up and fix it up to make it more palatable. But he said it as raw can be, and that told me that he was being honest. What you say? Did he make Charles look bad? I don't think he made Charles look bad. I think he was just honest about it. In my opinion, I think he was just honest about his experiences. And so if it made Charles look bad, he also talked about confrontations with his brother. He talked about things like, in one part he had talked about how they had made a big deal because Megan had borrowed like Kate's lip gloss or lip balm or something like that, and how it turned into a big scene and stuff like that. And they were like, oh, she's not cultured, she's not whatever. Just a whole bunch of stuff that just caused for a lot of problems. And then you see all the infighting. He talked lovingly about his grandmother and how he got to tell his grandmother that he wanted to marry Megan and would like for her to meet her and all of this stuff. So he talked about his days at boarding school. he was very descriptive in one part of the story. He talked about one of the talked about the house mother and stuff. That got a lot of people with their britches in a bundle because he was very descriptive of her, and the descriptions weren't flattering. So, people were talking about it and how unkind he was, and how he said like he had, what did he say, he had put in the woman's head or something like that. I don't know. But teenage children, it's not like when children are growing up and their desires to act as children come about, they are going to pause and say, but oh, I can't do that because I am a royal. No, children are children. And children don't even take those roles seriously. Children don't even have those roles in their minds when they're acting as children. So, I don't know, but I loved it. I loved it. It was a great one. It was a great read. I don't know how great the one y'all gonna be. I don't know how great this is gonna be. Lethal Seduction. Sounds like you have a little bit of romance in it. I boarded for school. Our house mother always look bad. A true man. How the people them they? How the people them they will go at Ildas? How the people them they? How the people them they go at Ildas? And Westwood. How the people them they will go at Wormwood? And Westwood and Ildas. You could have some stories. Lord have mercy. You could have some stories. If you go Ildas, if you went to Ildas, board on campus, if you go Westwood, board on campus. And if you went to Westwood, if you went to Homewood, because even the picking them from down for his side, always board at Homewood, because you can't travel from Runnerby every day go a Mandeville at school. Them a house mother fairies. And them never have man. Because the house mother them live at the school to take care of you. Yeah, that's why I always seem like them never have no man. Oh God. Yay. Joseph! What mean by why I'm not gonna sleep? Me tired. So when I come off of the live early, I take a look at nap though. I think I did the rum in the cake, make me go sleep, Yeah, I think I did the rum in the cake. Send me to snooze. So I lay down right here, so I take a look at nap. Yeah, let me get up back though. I need to get up again. I have a whole heap of things to do. Jesus, you coming like the work never done. You never see that. Yeah, you coming like the work never done. Especially housework. That's something like the housework, come like housework just never done. Yeah, well, I have a couple more things. I have a couple more things that need to be done. I have my ear figure though, so when I come off of the live, the first thing I gotta do is my ear. Yeah, I gotta color it. You see the root I get? Yeah, look how white I come in. Yeah, I not reach that stage there yet where I go just like embrace the gray hairs. I not reach that stage there yet. Maybe in a few years I will. But for right now, yeah, I not feel it. So I go, when I get up, when I finish the live, I go color it. See the little white them I come in, that's what's in there. I go color it. And plait it down. Yeah, so that New Year's Eve night, yeah, you can see, yeah, flowing in all its glory. Yeah, I go sell it strand for strand. I go sell the strand them New Year's Eve night. Yeah, if you want to see a strand, you have to pay for see a strand. Joseph! Joseph! Your friend over here lose her mind. Yeah, me charge you to see every strand of locks. Right, Joseph? Work and done, but you will done. It's our work. You said the work can't done, but me we done and me we done left the work. Achoo. Achoo, you tell. Cause the work just never seemed to end. I'm just working all the time. But and especially when we think about the fact that I am so much older and um I've lived my longest life I've lived already. So I kinda steer down over upon the next side. Yeah. Just feel like I need to do and do and do and do and then do. I'm just tired. But anyway, reading kind of revitalize me, you know, when I have to read something, it revitalizes me. So like when I sit down, me lay down right here, so I don't want to just go to waste. You know what I mean? Wanna feel that way there too? Wanna feel that way there too? So I feel like tired of the boring thing, want some excitement. She got the Anyway, let me see what the book here say. This is a Joan Collins book. Joan Collins. Oh Lord Jesus. The way the book opened. You would think it had legs. Oh my goodness, try to behave yourself. Listen, I don't know where that came from. That was what I that was what I intended to say, people. Please forgive me. Why am I deal with the book? So listen. That was what I intend. That was my intention at all. It was not. Mommy, first word go along. Listen, because I opened the book right to the first chapter, and this is the first sentence. What's the best sex you have ever had? Somebody said the book doesn't warm up. And that is why I'm like, shit, the book have open like that. Like it got legs. Oh my word. Now I want to read the book. Now I want to read the book. Yeah, no I want to read it. Don't disturb me. Don't disturb me. Me I go read the book. The book exciting already. I'm gonna start read it yet. You're nervous. It's all that the book going to be good. All right, let's see. The book and panic. Yes, Mike. Can I ask you a few questions? You can ask me anything, my love. Yes, Mike. Jimmy Carter passed away. And the last week, I'm up on live. May I say to say, Jimmy Carter, Bill Clinton, Bush, Biden. I'm worried for the next 4 years. I know that all four of them might pass. In the next 4 years, I know them are going to grieve if they know who is going to preside over them. So see there, Jimmy Carter must hear me. Jimmy Carter must hear me and say, you know something? Let me just go on before Biden get out here. Let Biden do this for me, because me no want so and so to preside over me. I saw me did that thing too. Trina, what? Trina, you going like Jill Stein, so you just show up on me at the beginning of the year. Then me no hear gunfire you again. What's going on, sis? What's up? What's up, Trina? Good to see you, my love. Somebody says they want to ask me a few questions. You can ask me just about anything. Wait, so what me I go on with? You know something there here? I'm here giving thanks. I'm breathing. I'm alive. Yeah. May I give thanks for that. And look at it. If I wasn't here, I wouldn't even see you. I wouldn't even see you. You've been a long time now. I don't see you in a tree now. Oh, you here? The ear, how far the ear reach? How far your ear reach, sis? Look at man. See that? Here for days. Here for days. All natural. All natural. Yes. Where's the ear now? Do nothing. I wonder why. I wonder why. What did Swift one say? Swift one say, what happened to Lazarus after I returned from the dead? In dead again. Oh, you see, I've done a video on your hair in a while. Yeah, me I go wash mine and fix it up later. When I come off of the live here and go do it, I probably do it on live. And show them what I go on with it. Cause people keep on saying, oh, they can't angle them locks, they can't manage the locks and everything. The locks are not hard to handle. Yeah, especially you just have to learn to handle it yourself. Cause me do mine by myself. Cause me not gonna sell in front of nobody for $400 and then breed that money there. Me not have them breed that money there, number one. Much more if you go sit down for somebody do my ear for them breed that money there. No, sir. See, then we just grab each locks, put some gel on it, and twist it. That's it. It's just you hard for handle. Oh, you know that. Me not hard for angle. Me easy for angle. Yeah. Oh, it's your diet, low in iron and vitamin D. That's affected. Well, you need to work on that. You need to work on that, my love. Yeah, because your diet have a lot to do with your hair health, you know. Yeah. So you have to modify your diet. Eat a wide range of fruits and vegetables. Yeah, you notice the people who only eat one kind of food. You notice how them always look puny. Yeah. Because you have to eat a variety. You know, sometimes when I go to the store, I see one fruit when I don't know, I still buy it or eat it because I don't even know, sometimes I don't even know where they come from or what they are. But as long as it's a fruit and it's an edible fruit, I buy it and try it. You understand? So people get up, them eat rice every Jesus day that God make them eat rice. Like, yeah. Your health is very important. And not just your body. The food where you eat helps your skin, helps your hair, helps your nails, help you get rid of toxins and stuff. And if you detox yourself, you need some Cersei. You need some Cersei. You need some aloe vera. Yeah, them something there. You need for cleanse out your system. You need to drink some meringue. You need to drink some turmeric. You need to drink some ginger. Yeah, you need to eat some pineapples. Some mangoes, some plantains, yam, green banana. Yeah. And you depend on supermarket food too much. And stop going to the supermarket, go buy them heap of food in the supermarket. But then put all kinds of preservative in. And then put all kinds of stuff in the foods. And you just buy it and eat it. So you don't know how to boil water. You don't know how to cook. It is shameful on y'all's part. It is shameful. Those of you who don't know how to cook, you don't know. Yeah. As much people that text me. You understand? Shameful. I don't know, just fast food. No, you know, young lady, you need to lower the ear and stop the eye. What you mean, Joseph? What you mean? Me have to fix up the ear. If me wasn't fixing it up, you think it would have be like this? You look at it grow like water. Watch there. Shoo. Shoo. And this is me sorry me never did dread long time. Me dread long time by this time me ear that I dung on my waist. If me did dread long time. But I was so afraid. I was so afraid. I had Europe on my mind. You wanna know what I mean? Keep on I put all these wigs on sitting upon my head. Like, oh Jesus. Anyway. Joseph, listen, Trina, lock the ear. People keep on talking about, oh, a rasta ear and you know, you don't know why if be. Girl, lock your ear. I hear ear. Yeah. Lock the ear. If you lock the ear, it will grow. It will grow nice. And when it will grow up thick, you just grab in the little pieces, them will grow and just wrap them up in it. Yeah, that's a good thing. Anyway. How are you? Winter Queen, what's up? How are you doing? Good evening to you, my love. Happy Sunday. Season's greetings. No, so you don't want dread to hear? Well, I don't know how to tell you then. Because I think if you dread it, it'll go get full and grow up. Like clip off the short ends, clip off the ends that are not too healthy, and then lock your hair and make it grow. That means you're not gonna be handling the hair a lot, especially if your hair is prone to falling out. Yeah, the more you angle the hair, the less it grows. Yeah. But anyway, beautiful people, we are going to really and truly read the book here. The book here excites me. This book excites me. Yeah. So I'm going to read it. This book supposed to take me maybe the next week. Less than a week. I'm supposed to finish reading the book here. I'll be like, people, if you like reading, yeah, stay with me. Tell me if you like reading. I'll listen to it. I'm afraid of what it is not your ear. Anything you want to do with it. You have to do exactly, Joseph. The name of the book is Lethal Seduction by Jackie Collins. Did you get? Oh, somebody says, Trev, did you get a copy of my book entitled Vigipeniology? The Essence of Renewed Pleasure? No, ma'am. First in my life, me hearing of that book. First, I'm hearing about that book. Oh, you say you like listening to me read? Thank you, my love. Thank you. I hope this one is not too rowdy. You know, the others that we have been reading have been very good, but I hope this one is not too rowdy. It kind of open the opening sentence kind of open up like legs, but where is that book, Winter Queen? Where that book there? Cause you don't know, say me and books. Me have one book to buy. I have a book to buy. I don't know from when me promised that girl is make a buy her book. I'm gonna buy it yet. But me have it on my list to buy. I know what you mean, Trina. I thank you, my love. I thank you, my love. I appreciate you. You need me? For drive you? Go. Just right there? Right now? Oh Lord, have His mercy upon my soul. Wanna ever hear these people? Eh. Y'all gotta look some food. Yeah. What is not this Jesus? Wanna not say so? Including Amazon, Barnes and Noble. I'm gonna take note of it. Let me write it down. Let me write down the name of the book so that me know, so that I don't forget. Me can write it in that same book here. Where's the book name? VIP the essence of. You ready? Okay. People, me soon come. Me soon come. Me now turn off the live them. Me Jesus. Let me run. Go do this. I'm going to look for them African woman here. Me soon come. I hope the live not cut off before me come back. Really? You're kidding me. What am I going to say? You have everything you need? Yes, that's true. I'm back. Hui. All right, I come back. We come back. That was quick, right? Okay. It's also an ebook, print, and audiobook on Spotify and Barnes and Noble. Okay. All right. I got you. I got you. I got it written down right here. I got it written down right here. So I'll go check it out. Just so you know, man. All right. So we're going to read the book. Whew. That was a quick little run. Quick little drive around the lane and come back. Okay. We are gonna read a book here. So I have the Vigipenology, the essence of renewed pleasure. Okay. And that's on sexual. I don't know, but let's see. This book here by Jackie Collins, Lethal Seduction. Yes, ma'am. It does have that sound to it. Yeah. But we will see. We will see. I'm gonna check it out tonight. Let's see. This book here says, "What's the best sex you've ever had?" Jamie Nova asked her best friend, Madison Castilli. At 29, Jamie was heartbrokenly lovely. A cool, willowy blonde with classic style and an impeccable pedigree. She was a cross between a young Grace Kelly and a contemporary Gwyneth Paltrow. So you know this book is not so old, right? If they mention Grace Kelly and Gwyneth Paltrow, you know it's recent. Okay? Huh? Madison said, glancing quickly at the adjoining table in the packed Manhattan restaurant. The couple sitting there were deep into their own conversation and had failed to hear Jamie's provocative question. "You know what I mean," Jamie said, brushing a lock of fine blonde hair from her forehead. "Mind-blowing, earth-shaking down and dirty sex." Listen, listen, listen. It is what it is. Me just reading what's on the pages, okay? The kind where you never want to see the guy again, but at the exact moment you are doing it, anything goes. A long, wistful sigh. And I do mean anything. "Well," Madison said, wondering where Jamie, her former college roommate, was going with this. "Come on," Jamie said impatiently. "Answer me." Hmm? Madison thought was Madison thought for a moment, realizing this was not a question Jamie was about to drop. "Miami," she said at last. "Vacation with my father. I was 16, and the guy was a 45-year-old major playboy with all the toys. Penthouse, a Porsche, porno videos." "Porno videos?" Jamie said, rolling her aquamarine eyes in exaggerated horror. "Doesn't sound too sexy to me." "I can assure you it was," Madison retorted crisply. He had this oversized waterbed covered in rose petals, a pitcher of champagne with sliced peaches, sexy European body oil, and, she paused for full effect, an extraordinarily talented tongue. That gone a little too far now. But anywho, it a live up to its name already. It's a lethal seduction. So it's living up to its name. Ha! The old talented tongue trick, Jamie retorted, a touch bitterly. "Gets him every time." Madison raised an eyebrow. "What's with you today? Why all this sex talk? You're a married woman. And if what I hear is true, Once you were married, sex is supposed to be nothing but a distant memory. Very funny, Jamie said glumly. I was joking, Madison said, sensing trouble in the paradise that Jamie inhabited. It was a fact that everyone who knew Jamie and her Wall Street hotshot husband, Peter, considered them the golden couple. They seemed to have everything, and yet today Madison seemed a lurking storm. So, what's up? She asked, leaning across the table. Tell me everything. Well, Jamie said, biting on her lower lip. Last night we were at a dinner party and the question arose. I wonder if only the question was arousing. It seemed like more than the question was arousing. But let me continue. What question? The best sex you've ever had question, Jamie said, toying with her salad. And here's the thing, everyone was coming up with really good answers. Yes? Jamie said curiously. Naturally, when it came to me, I carried on about it being the first time Peter and I made love. I told a cute little story about it, and everyone oohed and awed. Then it was Peter's turn, and he suddenly went very quiet, muttered that he couldn't remember, and abruptly changed the subject. Maybe he was embarrassed. Peter? Jamie shook her head vigorously. Not him. Had he been drinking? Not at all. Then what? Madison asked, perplexed. I think he's having an affair. Huh? Jamie blurted. Come on, Madison explained. You have only been married 3 years. Give the guy a chance to get bored. Thanks a lot, Jamie said huffily. What makes you think he'd ever get bored? True, Madison thought. How could any man be bored with a woman like Jamie by his side? She was perfect. Everyone knew. Everyone knew that. Besides, in a proper world, no man would cheat on Jamie. Huh, really? Huh? But the world wasn't proper, and most men were dogs. So maybe Jamie was right. Maybe Peter was exercising his precious manhood in another neighborhood. What makes you suspect Peter might be screwing around? She asked. Intuition, Jamie answered. That and the fact that we haven't made love in 2 weeks. 2 weeks? Madison exclaimed teasingly. Jesus! Send in the Marines! You don't understand, Jamie muttered, twisting her diamond wedding band on an elegant French manicured finger. Peter is a very sexual man. He likes sex every day. A meaningful pause, sometimes more than once. Mmm, Madison murmured, thinking that she hadn't had sex in almost a year. Her choice, because who needed to sleep with assholes? Who? Yeah, that's my question too. And unfortunately, that's all she had come across in the last year, major assholes. The truth was that ever since her living love of 2 years, David, the TV producing rat, had run out on her, she had been off men. Although there was that very attractive photographer she had met in LA earlier in the year while on an assignment for Manhattan Style, the upscale magazine she worked for. His name was Jake Sika. Is it Sika or Sika? Whichever. And they had chemistry. Unfortunately, he had been involved elsewhere. Too bad. Then there was the one night stand in Miami, where she had been interviewing. Jesus! Me read. Oh, hold on, me need a sheet for cover up my foot them, because my foot them I get hot. Um, listen, why did I get this book? Why am I get that book here at this time of the year? Listen, you know, hear them say things that happen by chance. I want to listen to this. Then there was the one night stand in Miami where she had been interviewing the Donald. Why? She had met a male model at one of the she had met a male model at one of the happening clubs in the South Beach. He was not very smart, but quite beautiful, with a muscular body and an untamed mane of sun-streaked hair. Yes, Miss Kids, that's what I said. That's what I said too. This makes me really want to read the book, right? All right. One long, passionate night of unbridled lust, accompanied by a condom and later a feeling of, why the hell did I do that? No, one night stands were not for her. What do you think I should do? Jamie wailed. I can't stand not knowing. It's driving me insane. Well, um, find out, I guess, Madison offered. Very helpful, Jamie snapped. You are supposed to be the smart one with an answer for everything. Madison sighed. With a label to be stuck with? Unfortunately, it was true. In college, she and Jamie were known as the Beauty, Jamie, and the Brain, Madison, and a third friend, Natalie DeBarge, a pretty black girl, was named the Sex Pot. The three of them had been inseparable. College had ended 7 years ago, and in those 7 years, they had all made their mark. Apart from marrying Peter and leading a hectic social life, Jamie had had her own successful interior firm in Manhattan. It helped that her rich daddy had put up the money and partnered her with Anton Couch, a gay genius with connections up the kazoo. Natalie, with nobody to back her, had carved out a career on television. She was currently living in LA and co-hosting Celebrity News, an ET-type entertainment show. And Madison had an interesting, challenging job and quite a reputation. Her profiles of the rich, powerful, and infamous were an important part of Manhattan Style's outstanding success as a magazine of the moment, regularly outselling Vanity Fair and Esquire. In fact, the piece she had written on Hollywood called on Hollywood called Girls earlier in the year had caused quite a stir. She had even sold the film rights, although she doubted if the movie would ever get made. Okay, here's the plan, she said, deciding that Jamie needed help. Yes, Jamie said, placing her elbows on the table, wide aqua eyes, eager for an answer to her problem. Have him followed. Followed? Jamie exclaimed. Cause the couple at the next table to finally take notice. I can't do that. It's so cheap. Expensive, actually, Madison corrected, but worth it, I'm sure. How can that be? Peace of mind. If he is cheating, you'll find out. And if he is not, hey, it will have cost. It will have cost you a few bucks and normal life resumes. Maybe, Jamie muttered hesitantly, followed by a much firmer, okay, I'll do it. Let me check into our options, Madison said briskly. Find out who is the best. And the most discreet, Jamie added quickly. There's no way this can get out. I understand, Madison said. Sure that our editor, Victor Simmons, would be able to come up with exactly who they should hire. Victor knew everything and everybody. Maybe even knew if Peter was hound dogging after some sexy nymphette. Then again, maybe not. Victor and Peter did not travel in the same social circles. I'm certain you are wrong, Madison said reassuringly, but at least this way you'll know. Right, Jamie agreed, and felt sick at the thought of catching Peter with another woman. Have you ever caught your lover, your spouse, your husband with another lover? I can only imagine how it feels. I have been there, done that. Don't give two craps. I gotta wet my whistle a little bit, you know what I mean? Yeah, but have you ever been caught cheating, or have you ever caught anybody cheating, your significant other cheating? You ever? You ever? You fly in a rage and you get angry And you fling things and you break things and that you do? Really? Really? Oh, me never fight a soul. Me just turn me roll and go about my business. Right, Joseph? Me just turn me roll and go about my business, brother. I mean, I know woman I fight over no man, not I. Eh? Woman I go drag me here and tear off my clothes and all them something there. No, sir. He couldn't be that significant. Me say, child. But make we continue with the reading. After saying goodbye outside the restaurant, Madison strode along Park Avenue, heading for the offices of Manhattan Style. Heads turned, but she didn't notice. She was too busy thinking about Jamie and her suspicions. Madison was a striking looking woman, tall and slender, with full breasts, dancer's legs, and a cloud of long black curly hair that she usually wore pulled back. She tried to play her good looks down, but nothing could disguise her green almond shaped eyes, sharply defined cheekbones, and full seductive lips. She was a beauty, although she did not consider herself one. Her idea of beauty was her mother, Stella, a statuesque honey blonde, whose quivering lips and dreamy eyes reminded most people of Marilyn Monroe. Looks wise, Madison took after her father, Michael. Dark and handsome, Michael Castelli was the best looking 58-year-old in Connecticut. He also possessed a beguiling charm and steely determination, two qualities Madison had definitively inherited, which had not hindered her rise to success as a well respected writer of revealing and insightful profiles of the notorious and powerful. Madison loved what she did, going for the right angle, discovering the secrets of people in the public eye. Politicians and super rich business tycoons were her favorites. Movie stars, sports personalities, and Hollywood moguls were low on her list. She didn't regard herself as a killer, although she wrote although she wrote with searing honesty, sometimes upsetting her subjects, who were usually sheltered in all-enveloping cocoon of protective PR. Too bad if they didn't like it. She was merely reporting the truth. She had worked under the watchful eye of Victor Simmons for 5 years. They had an excellent relationship, although sometimes Victor could be a total pain in the you know what, especially when he wanted her to interview a subject she had absolutely zero interest in. Usually they compromised, and she'd reluctantly agree to interview some dingbat movie star sex symbol in exchange for a crack at a nuclear scientist or a computer genius. Victor had discovered her fresh out of college. She had written a provocative piece on a still rampant double standard between men and women, and it had been published in Esquire. He had taken her to lunch, told her to get more experience, then 2 years later hired her to write short question and answer pieces for his magazine. A year later, she had graduated to brief interviews. Then suddenly, she had come up with a signature work, Madison Castelli, Profiles in Power. Her first subject was Henry Kissinger. Henry Kissinger not dead the other day. So you know so the book are recent, right? Her first subject was Henry Kissinger. She had captured the essence of the aging politician with a sharp, wry wit. After that, it was easy, one interview per month, which gave her plenty of free time to work on her novel, a book about relationships, which was making slow progress while she got over her anger at David for walking out. It wasn't easy writing about relationships while she was still so hurt. Why had David left? That was the question. Was it something she had done to turn him off? No. Deep down, she knew the answer. David hadn't been able to accept the fact that she made as much money as he did. It was as simple as that. He was searching for a woman who stayed home and did what he wanted, not an independent, free-spirited woman with ambitions. 2 years of great sex did not make a lasting relationship because after the passion settled down, what was left? In this case, apparently nothing. A few weeks after David's abrupt departure, she had heard that he had married his childhood sweetheart, a vapid blonde with fake boobs and an annoying overbite. So much for good taste. Me drink look water. Me taste the water here. Victor was couched on the floor in his spacious office, playing with his precious model train set, which wound its way around the room and across the room and back again. Victor was a big, cuddly man in his late 40s with a mop of frizzy brown hair that appeared to stand on end, making eyebrows, several chins, and puppy dog eyes. "Maddie," he exclaimed in a loud, booming voice, "I wasn't expecting to see you today. Come on in." "Hi, Victor," she said, carefully stepping over a chugging red engine. "Working hard as usual, I see." "Of course," he said with a hearty chuckle. "Keeps the old heart pumping. Besides, Evelyn won't let me do this at home." "I wonder why," Madison murmured, thinking of his pristine, skinny as a stick wife with her permanent uptight expression and designer wardrobe. "Wouldn't do to mess up her living room," Victor responded, hauling himself up. Madison perched on the edge of his desk. "I need a favor," she announced, picking up a heavy glass paperweight and examining it. Anytime somebody come and say them need a favor, money them I look for borrow, you know. Oh, anytime them come and say, Lord Trev, I have a favor for ask you, right? That's why them stop them. Don't tell me you have a favor for ask me, because I don't have a favor for give. All, when you tell me, say, I joke me, I make a lie, me I tell. Always money them I look for borrow. I'm say, I have a favor for ask you too, you know, make me go first. Alright, Trev, you go first. Me I look some money for borrow. And so that me never ask you enough to borrow some money, you know, right? That's what the argument done. You not have it, me not have it, so we cool. Find another victim. Let's move on. "Good," Victor boomed, sitting down in his leather chair. "There's nothing I like better than people owing me favors." "I'm not people," Madison pointed out, irritated that he should regard her as such. "And it's not exactly a favor, more a request for information." "What kind of information?" Vigor asked suspiciously. "Nothing earth-shattering," she said, putting the paperweight down. "I simply require the name of the best private investigator in New York." Victor tapped his index finger on the desk. "And what does that have to do with you?" "Because you know everything. And besides," she added quickly, "didn't you use someone to follow your first wife before you divorced her?" His bushy eyebrows shot up. "He told you. Who told you that?" "Yeah, you say you have a favor?" "What kind of favor you have?" "You have a favor to give? I have a favor to ask for." "I'll take a favor. I'll take a favor." But let's continue. We can talk about it off the air. Let's continue. His bushy eyebrows shot up. "Who told you that?" "Office folklore." "I hate gossip," he snapped. "You thrive on it," she responded. "Why do you need this?" "For a friend." "What friend?" "None of your business." "Bitch." "Stale slave driver." They exchanged smiles. Madison was extremely fond of Victor, even though he sometimes drove her crazy with his loud voice and often overbearing attitude. And Victor adored Madison, whom he considered his own personal discovery. Placing the train remote on his desk, Victor buzzed Linda, his personal assistant who had worked for him for 20 years, and with her dark brown and lackluster smile, closely resembled a cross-eyed basset hound, really. Linda materialized immediately, unrequited love oozing from her every pore. You remember I read nonsense. I was thinking of, excuse me, thinking of the look of Linda. Uh, yes, Mr. S, she asks anxiously. All right, let me calm down. Relax, Trev, relax. It's confidential, Victor boomed. Linda threw Madison a dirty look as if to say, then what's she doing here? Get me the name and number of the person who trailed Rebecca, Victor said. Do it now. Linda snapped to attention. Yes, Mr. S. And she was gone. So, Victor said, turning to Madison, you don't care to tell me what this is about? Hey, she answered, purposely keeping it vague. It's not about me. That should be enough. Well, it isn't, he grumbled. Don't sweat it, Victor, she said casually. You wouldn't be interested anyway. You need a man, Victor said, his favorite comment whenever she pissed him off. How long has it been since David walked out? Stay out of my private life, she warned. You are 29 and you have no private life, he reminded her. Good God! How she hated it when Victor tried to get into her business. Fuck you, she said vehemently. Anytime you are ready. She burst out laughing. You see, seemed like how me laugh out just now, so she burst out laughing. She busted out laughing. There was no way she could stay mad at Victor. After all, he meant well, even though he was forever trying to fix her up with any single man that came his way. He didn't care how old they were or what they looked like, as long as they had a reasonable bank account and a working cock. He was determined she should give him a try. How him know him got to work it? How him know him got to work in Rooster? How him would know that? Anyway, she had given up accepting invitations to dinner at his home. The last one she had attended, she had found herself seated between an extremely ancient astronaut and a 21-year-old computer nerd. Both interesting men, but dating material? No way. I don't mind being alone, she told herself. Yes, you do, an annoying little voice that lived in the back of her head replied. No, I don't. 10 minutes later, armed with the name K. Florian and a phone number, she left the office, cutting down 67th Street towards her apartment on Lexington. Now that she had the number, she decided she had better check with Jamie before using it. That evening, they were both attending a dinner party at Anton Couch Penthouse apartment, so she'd be able to find out exactly what Jamie wanted her to do. Yes, and she'd also be able to check out Peter, see what he was up to. Her people skills were excellent. If Peter was screwing around on Jamie, Madison would know it. No doubt about that. Yes, so they're trying to find out who is cheating on who. I just gotta wet my whistle for this one. All right, we're moving on to chapter 2. My word. I want him dead, Rosarita Vincent Falcon screeched, red in the face. Dead, dead, dead. Lower your voice, her father growled, his heavy-lidded eyes filled with disapproval at his daughter's petulant outburst. You want the whole fucking neighborhood to hear? What? I was just reading what's on the page. You want the whole fucking neighborhood to hear? Who cares? Rosarita yelled. You own the fucking neighborhood. Nice language, sniffed Chaz Vincent, a large bear of a man with ruddy cheeks and a rough-edged voice. Is that what I sent you all to college to learn? Fuck college. Fuck the neighborhood. I want Dex fucking Falcon dead. A little louder, Chaz growled, sweat beading down his forehead. The maid next door didn't hear you. Rosarita stamped her feet on the thick pile rug. What was wrong with her stupid father? Why wasn't he getting it? At 5 feet 4, Rosarita was bordering on anorexic, helped also by bulimic tendencies. She was 26, with red hair worn in a shoulder-length bob, a thin, pointy face, overfull lips, thanks to her busy plastic surgeon, who had also helped out with a new nose and cheekbone and chin implants, not to mention the best boobs in Manhattan, and plenty of attitude, especially when it came to her husband of 18 months, struggling actor and sometime model Dexter Falcon. She had married him because he was unbelievably handsome, had an enormous underwear billboard hovering above Times Square, and was absolutely crazy about her. She had thought he was destined to be a movie star, but no. The only acting job Falcon had managed to land was on an about to be cancelled daytime soap that paid shit and nobody watched. Damn him. Now Rosarita wanted out because she had met someone else, someone of substance, with an attitude to match her own, and an even bigger dick than Dexter's, who was no slouch in the size department. Someone she planned to go places with. But how could she go anywhere with a loser husband trailing along behind her? When she had brought up the subject of divorce, Dexter had freaked out. Over my dead body, he had said. Well, if that is the way he wanted it, I thought he was in love with me. Okay, let's continue. I thought you were so in love, Chas said, swinging for a large glass of a large, maybe I'll get tongue tied, swigging from a large glass of scotch. I gave you the big fucking wedding with all the trimmings, exactly like you wanted. I bought you a fucking house and a fucking Nazi car. I thought you was all set. Sorry, I'm not, Rosarita said, gritting her teeth. Dex is a deadbeat actor with no prospects, and I want you to get rid of him for me. Just like that? Jack said, wondering how he had managed to get himself such a difficult daughter. Her year younger sister, Venice, was a sweetheart with 2 kids and a down-to-earth husband who sold insurance for a living. Why couldn't Rosarita be more like her? I warned you about marrying a fucking actor, he said dourly. They got bird crap for brains, not to mention fagola, or what that? Not to mention fagola tendencies. What that? Hold on there. I never heard that one there before. Fagola. Fagola tendencies. I never heard that word there before. I'm going to look it up. Fagola. Fagola. Oh, that's in a meaning. Yeah. Oh. Oh. Same thing as I was thinking. It's homosexual tendencies. But it's not a nice word to say. Okay. So that's why he said the actors have fagola tendencies. I have to speak that softly. Okay. He's not gay, Rosarita sniffed, insulted that Chaz would think that any man who was with her might be gay. Merely dumb. I told you, Chaz grumbled, only you wouldn't listen. He put on an exaggerated voice. Miss, I got to have everything the moment I want it. Daddy, Rosarita wailed, changing tactics because she knew how to play him like a violin. Please help your little girl. I need you. Chas could barely resist Rosarita when she was sweet. During those rare times, she reminded him of her dear departed mother who had died giving birth to Venice, leaving him alone with a newborn baby and an infant to raise. In his opinion, he had done a great job, but with the help of an army of girlfriends, none of whom had lasted more than a few months. Chas Vincent was not a one-woman man. He liked big tits and a closed mouth. 2 or 3 months into the game, and they got on his nerves with their whiny demands and money spending ways. Maybe Rosarita took after him when it came to living with someone. He couldn't blame her. Dexter Falcon was a white bread putz with only a pretty face to get him through life. He had no balls. Charles could have told his daughter that the first time he met the dumb shit. Them are cost too much right you know. Amor! Yes, God. God. Sometime I have to play backwards, you know. I have to play them. Hey! DJ Amor. DJ Amor said me really like a professional teacher. That was my first calling. Oh my gosh. Which I think was my calling, but anywho, we'll continue. We'll continue reading. Rosarita should have fucked him out of her system, but no, she had to marry the asshole. Her wedding had cost a freaking fortune. Rosarita demanded and got only the best. Now Chaz had a powerful urge to say, I told you so. But his strong willed kid didn't take kindly to criticism, so he choked back the words and patted Rosarita on her bony shoulder as she tried to perch on his knee, tears streaming down her cheeks. They were actually tears of frustration and anger because she was having to fight to get her own way, but Chaz didn't know that. What shall we do, Daddy? She sniffed. I'm so miserable. Dex is so mean to me. Get a divorce, Chaz suggested, sure that if Dexter was mean to her, he had good reason. What's going on, Amor? Mwah! How you doing, my love? Good to see you. How the holidays going with you? You stay safe out there, okay? Keep them streets safe and keep yourself safer. Don't you understand? He won't give me one, she moaned. And that means I'd have to wait and go through lawyers and depositions and all that horrible, degrading stuff. He's threatening to go after half of everything I own. I don't want to wait, Daddy. It's not fair. A pause for a few moments of deep sobs. Besides, I've met someone else, and I can't have Dex getting in my way and ruining everything. Not another dumb actor, I hope, Chaz said, taking a second hearty swig of scotch. No, Daddy, this one's got money. He's a someone, not a nobody like Dexter. She's narrowed her eyes. I hate Dexter. I'm getting the picture, Chaz said, scratching his chin. Rosarita wiggled off his knee, which was good, because he wasn't as young as he used to be, and last night he had gone 3 rounds with a pneumatic blonde, whose knockers alone must have weighed 5 pounds apiece. Hold up! Let me speak to him, Chaz said. He listened to me. Talking won't do any good, Rosarita yelled. Killing him will. What? Wonderful. Oh, you said I watch one cartel interview? Oh, wonderful. There I read one sexy book. In the night, again, with the new year coming on, and the people them either them are gonna look one man Or them there with somebody, man, or something of the sort, but you know, it's one man in the mix. So me I read it for them. Not for me, not for them. Anyway, let's continue. Enough of that crap, Charles snapped, suddenly angry. I ain't in the killing business. I'm in construction. And don't you forget it. Ha! Rosarita said. Ha what? Chaz responded. Rosarita stared at her father, a malevolent expression on her sharp pointed face. Whatever happened to that foreman you didn't like? She said knowingly. You remember? The one who stole from you? And then there was Adam Rubicon, your ex-partner who mysteriously disappeared. And, shut your fucking mouth, Chaz yelled, jumping up, red in the face. I never want to hear you talk like that again. You hear me? Then do it, Rosarita said, all cool and collected and sure of herself. And do it soon. You listen, is marriage on the spot? It's marriage on the spot. I am telling you, Amor. Trust me. Oh boy, you're funny. Wanna hear that, people? All right. Let us continue. Unaware of the ominous conversation taking place at his father in law's house, Dexter Falcon left the Midtown TV studio where they shot the daily soap Dark Days. A smile on his handsome face. His name wasn't really Dexter Falcon, it was actually Dick Cockringer. Eh? A name too ridiculous to even contemplate keeping, unless he planned on being a porn star. And when he had first come to New York from a small town in the Midwest 4 years previously, that was not his plan at all. Oh no, Dexter Falcon had far grander aspirations. The name change was first on his agenda, Dexter, in honor of his good looking character on his mother's all time favorite nighttime show, and Falcon because it was powerful and strong and sounded very masculine. And so Dexter Falcon was born. Again, it was a memorable day. He was 20 and ready for anything. And a few weeks after arriving in the big city, he found anything in the person of Mortimer Marcel, a French born designer whom he bumped into while jogging in Central Park. Are you a model? Mortimer had asked. Actor, Dexter replied. He had never acted, never even thought of it, but acting sounded like a far more exciting profession than washing dishes in a deli on Lexington, which is what he was currently doing. You could be right for my new underwear line, Mortimer said brusquely. All I'll audition you tonight. My house, 7 o'clock. And he had fished in the pocket of his fashionable running shorts and handed Dexter an engraved card. Dexter had stood considering the possibilities while watching Mortimer jog out of sight. He was not naive. He knew what went on, and especially in a big city like New York. Mortimer Marcel was obviously gay, and Dexter was not. Mortimer Marcel was also obviously successful, and Dexter was not. Was there a choice about what he should do? Yes, he should not pursue it. But he had been handed an opportunity, and it was his destiny to follow it through. Within 6 months, he was Mortimer Marcel's boy on television, the internet, in print ads. Marcel even took him to Paris and had him strut the runway wearing the latest line of Mortimer Marcel men's leisure wear. And he didn't have to do anything sexual. Mortimer had a living lover, Jefferson, a handsome black ex model who was as jealous as a wildcat guarding its young. So Mortimer never laid a hand on Dexter, leaving him free to sleep with whomever he liked. And he did. Every night was supermodel night, each girl more gorgeous than the next. For 2 years, Dexter fulfilled every sexual fantasy he had ever had, but deep in his heart, he wanted more than transient sex. He desperately craved a real relationship with a woman who cared about him. His main desire was to get married, have babies, and be forever happy like his parents, who were still together after 45 blissful years. One night he met Rosarita at a party. She wasn't supermodel pretty, but she was attractive and seemed to be caring and sweet, and best of all, she hung on to his every word. Since he never had much to say, this was extremely flattering. He liked it. He liked her. They started to date. Over several dinners, she talked about family values and how she loathed the whole New York social scene. He couldn't agree more. She chatted about her sister's children and how one day she hoped to have children of her own. Several. She was full of all the old fashioned virtues he had been searching for. What a girl! A month later, he asked her to marry him, and she said yes. 6 weeks later, they did the deed, and on their wedding night, they had sex for the first time, and it was quite something. Dexter was sure that marrying Rosarita was the best thing he had ever done. After they had been married a few weeks, Rosarita informed him he was far too smart to continue being a model, and she arranged for him to go see an agent at William Morris. He did so, and the agent assured him they could make him a star and immediately began sending him out on auditions. Dexter was elated. So was Rosarita. Over the next 2 months, he almost landed a Clint Eastwood movie. Very nearly got cast in a Martin Scorsese masterpiece. Just missed being Gwyneth Paltrow's lover in a Miramax film. And then, on his agent's advice, after several months of no auditions at all, he signed for a 1 year stint on Dark Days. How they remove your comment for? What you say? Tell them the ramp with you, know. If them remove your comment, you remove them. Right? Anyway, let us continue. I don't want to break the chain of thought as we are reading. Because when you are read and that expectancy build up, you know, you don't want to break it. You just want to continue. Continue. Do it, his agent insisted. Once you get the experience behind you, they'll all be chasing after you. From the moment he signed on for the soap, Rosarita's attitudes changed. From sweet, she turned to sour, complaining about everything, including the fact that they were unable to go out most nights because he had a 5 a.m. call every day. She nagged him continually. Nothing he ever did was good enough, until finally, 6 weeks ago, she had started muttering about divorce. Dexter could not believe it. Divorce? They'd only been married 18 months. Divorce was unthinkable. Not in his family. For a start, it would kill his parents. Besides, he was quite happy with the way things were. So after much thought, he had devised a plan to calm her down. When they were first going out, he had taken her home to meet his parents, Martha and Matt. She had loved them, and they loved her. The only other time she had seen them since was at their wedding, which had turned out to be an enormous affair. Fortunately, Rosarita's father had paid for the lavish event and bought them a large apartment in Manhattan, plus a sleek Mercedes as a wedding present, which they hardly ever got to drive because it was too difficult finding a parking spot for it in the city. Martha and Matt, Martha and Matt Cockringer were Dexter's secret weapon. He was flying them into New York for a surprise visit. He had already instructed the maid to prepare the guest bedroom, and he had booked a limo to meet them at the airport. They were arriving tonight, hence the smile on his face. If Martha and Matt Cockringer couldn't talk some sense into Rosarita, then nobody could. let's continue. Let's continue. Anton Couch gave pretty great gave Anton Couch gave great parties, a stickler for detail. He hosted dinners that were always the best. Two tables of 12, 24 people who were either glamorous, talented, witty, or extraordinarily rich. A New York mix with flavor. As Madison entered Anton's fire red living room, she immediately checked out the group. Once she had seen John Gotti there before his incarceration, and there were often movie stars, politicians, and rock stars in attendance. Tonight, she spotted the legendary Chris Phoenix, rock icon supreme, with his trademark spiked hair and intense blue eyes. Although almost 50, he still had a magnetic quality, like Mick Jagger, Rod Stewart, and Eric Clapton. I don't know why. I don't know why. All right, let me continue. Like Mick Jagger, Rod Stewart, and Eric Clapton, he never seemed to change. Chris was deep in conversation with music mogul Clive Davis. Since she knew Clive, she began heading in their direction, only to be stopped by Jamie's husband, Peter, who stepped in front of her, martini glass in one hand and a silly grin on his somewhat bland face. Peter just came back from a wedding in the Hamptons look. Like his wife, he was tall, with a light year-round tan, aquamarine eyes, and tousled blonde hair. He and Jamie made a spectacular couple. "How's my wife's best friend?" he asked, favoring her with a lascivious leer. Okay. With a lascivious leer. "Fine, thank you," she said, thinking, uh-oh, one more martini and he's over the edge. "I hear you and my gorgeous wife had lunch today," he remarked. "We certainly did. Talk to me about it." "Did you all talk about me?" he asked Flirt. "We always talk about you," she answered lightly. "Surely you know you are the most interesting subject in our universe." "Wish I was," he said ruefully, sipping his martini. "Truth is, I think my wife's going off me." "Why would you say that?" "I don't know. I sort of sense it." Madison shrugged. "What can I say?" "Nothing. If she does go off me and throws me out, I'll simply have to come live with you." "That'll be fun," Madison said dryly. "You can sleep with the dog." You know, I've always had my eyes on you," he said, edging closer. Oh, God! She hated it when Peter was drunk. He invariably came out with the same tired old lines, and nobody ever complained to Jamie because they all knew he didn't mean it. "How's the stock market?" she asked, hurriedly changing the subject. "You want to talk stocks with me?" he said, licking his lips. "You want me to investigate your portfolio?" "Excuse me, Peter," she said, backing away. "I must find Anton." You know, Maddie, I don't get it," he said, coming after her. "What's a beautiful woman like you doing all by yourself?" "My choice, Peter," she said. David was a fool. He simply had different agendas. "Yeah," he laughed scornfully. "Have you seen David's agenda? Big tits and no brains." "When did you see her?" Madison asked, frowning, unaware that Peter and her ex-boyfriend were still in touch. "We had dinner one night with Jamie out on the town. He had been calling, bugging me to get together with him and his new bride." "Bugging you?" Madison said, remembering David's less than flattering opinion of Peter. He had once invested in the market with him and lost a bundle. This did not sit well with David, who expected a win at everything he did. I said yes, had nothing else to do. "What was she like?" Madison couldn't help asking, furious with herself for doing so. "Dimbo with big tits, you know the type," No, actually, I don't, she said coolly. He was crazy to give you up, Peter said, getting close enough so she could smell his boozy breath. Where's Jamie? She asked abruptly, once more backing away. Met Chris Phoenix and had a total meltdown. What is it with you women and these rock stars? We grew up watching them, Peter. In college, he was our idol, the best of the older rock stars. Really? First sexual stirrings and all that. Really? Wouldn't you like to know? As a matter of fact, I would. Well, you are not going to. Hmm? He said, rocking on his heels. Since you lunched with my wife today, isn't it only fair that you lunch with me tomorrow? Another deep, horny look. I could imagine your portfolio in details. Okay. She knew he wasn't serious. It was only the booze talking, or was it? In in view of Jamie's suspicions, how about not ordering another martini tonight, Peter? She said gently. You know Jamie hates it when you are drunk. How about minding your own business? She looked around for someone she knew. This conversation was going nowhere, and it was time to escape. I really do have to find Anton, she said. See you later. I hope he's sitting to I hope we're sitting together, he called after her. You're right. She was just about to make sure that they weren't. Anton was pleased to see her. He was a diminutive man with inquisitive eyes, a spontaneous smile, and expansive gestures. He had a warmth about him that was most appealing. Somehow he and Jamie had turned out to be a great business mix, much in demand to decorate the homes of the rich and frivolous. Homes that eventually appeared between the covers of Architectural Digest and InStyle. Anton usually came up with an innovative concept for his clients, and Jamie followed through. Since putting them in business together, Jamie's father had more than recouped his original investment. Amazing turnout as usual, Madison said, surveying the room and spotting the powerful agent Mort Janklow talking to publishers Sonny Mehta and Michael Corder in one corner, while across the room, Betsy Bloomingdale, visiting from California, dominated the conversation with a group of New York wives, including a striking Georgette Mosbacher. That's what she name? Mosbacher? I always tried to mix it up, Anton said modestly, and you always succeeded, Madison said. I wish you'd let me write about you. No personal publicity. That's why all my ladies trust me. You'd be amazed what they tell me when I'm suggesting a new fabric for their dining room walls. Knowing you, I wouldn't be surprised if you stashed a little microphone in the wall, Madison said, grinning. You love hearing all the gossip, don't you? I really do, my dear, Anton replied. However, my strength is that I don't repeat it, not even to you. They both laughed. If I were looking for Jamie, where would I find her? Madison asked. In the guest bathroom? Anton replied, lowering his voice. He added, I think Chris Phoenix propositioned her. She's run off to recover. And what was Peter doing while all this was going on? Getting drunk? Haven't you noticed? I try to keep an eye on him for you. You do that, Anton replied. If there's one thing I crave, it's peace and harmony. That's me. If there's one thing I crave, it's peace and harmony. Sure, Madison said disbelievingly. If you like peace and harmony, you wouldn't throw such incredible dinner parties every month. One's got to have a social life, Anton said with a wry smile. By the way, your mother called me. My mother? She said, surprised. You do have a mother, don't you? Anton said crisply. You didn't just spring from the streets of New York with a pen in your hand. Of course I have a mother. But why would she call you? Stella, isn't it? Yes, the beautiful Stella. If she's anything like you, She must certainly be very beautiful. Oh, come on, Madison said, embarrassed by his compliment. My mother is a real beauty, Marilyn Monroe in her heyday. How exciting, Anton said. I would have loved a mother that resembled the divine Marilyn Monroe. What did Stella want? To inquire about a design concept for their new apartment. What new apartment? Madison said, puzzled. My parents live in Connecticut. They haven't lived in New York for 10 years. Apparently, they are moving back. I didn't know that, she said, completely bewildered. First of all, why would Stella call you and not Jamie? And secondly, how come I don't know about this so-called apartment? Maybe they're planning to surprise you. Yeah, sure. That'd be the day. The only surprise my mother ever gave me was when she once complimented a piece I wrote on Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy? Yeah. Can you believe it? I write about politicians and all those other fascinating people. And the only one she had anything to say about was Eddie Murphy. Maybe she likes them black and bold. Maybe she likes them black and bold, Anton said with a knowing chuckle. Have you seen my father? He's the best looking man. He's the best looking man walking. Really? Anton said, perking up. How old is he? 58. Too old for you. Rumor is you don't like him over 25. Oh dear, Anton said, feigning dismay. My reputation's out. Madison laughed. I'm finding Jamie. I need to talk to someone sane. Jamie wasn't in the guest powder room. Miss Jamie is in Anton's bedroom. Okay. Anton's Filipino housekeeper informed her. Thanks, she said, still wondering about Stella calling Anton. What was that all about? Her parents loved Connecticut. Why would they consider moving back to New York, especially without telling her? Oh well, she'd find out tomorrow. Jamie was sitting in front of Anton's art deco. In front of Anton's art deco mirrored vanity. Ooh. Applying lipstick with a trembling hand and a long, thin brush. What's up with you? Madison asked, perching on the edge of the tub. Chris Phoenix wants me to meet him at his hotel, Jamie said, her voice husky. What? You heard me. He asked me to meet him. When? Later. Are you kidding? No. What about Peter? What about him? Jamie asked defiantly. He thinks you're going off for him. Ha! This is crazy, Madison said, shaking her head. Why? Jamie said stubbornly. I know he's screwing around on me. You don't know that. You merely suspect. You can't go running off in the middle of the night to meet with some aging rock star. I can if I want to. Did you and Peter have a fight? No. Then why are you acting like this? To see if he cares. Really? Of course he cares, Madison said, quite exasperated. He wouldn't be with you if he didn't. People stay together for many reasons, Jamie said mysteriously, applying a touch of blush to her already glowing complexion. Anyway, Madison said, I have the number of a private investigator, and I think you should meet with him. Me? What about you? Jamie wailed. Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't it you with the might-be straying husband? Yes, but you're going to help me, aren't you? Jamie said pleadingly. Madison sighed. If you insist, she said. Jamie always had been the champion on getting her own way. I can't do it alone, Maddie. Will you make the appointment and come with me? Okay, Madison said impatiently, wishing she could learn to say no. But only if you stop all this Chris Phoenix crap. He's a horny old rock star, for Christ's sakes. Definitely not for you. I promise, Jamie said, an angelic expression on her lovely face. However, I swear to you, If I find out that Peter is screwing around, I'll track Chris Phoenix down and fuck him in the middle of Times Square. I just read what was on the page. I just read what was on the page. What a revenge. You know, people, lots of people do this kind of thing, you know. Excuse me, they avenge their cheating partner. And I don't get how that even makes sense. Because, because if you cheat on me and then I go cheat on you, clearly you didn't give two shits about my feelings when you cheated on me. So I don't see how me cheating on you is going to make the situation any better. It made the situation worse, if anything, but it certainly don't make it better. But to each his own. Everybody can do what they want to do. I'm going to pick that book here tonight. Lord of His mercy. In bed with Joel Blaine, Rosarita realized he was everything Dexter was not. Joel was a down and dirty lover, servicing her in ways she had only ever dreamt of. He pushed her around, making her do things Dexter wouldn't dare to try. When he was inside her, he wanted her all the way, forcing her legs around the back of his neck, popping amyl nitrate vials under her nose, whether she liked it or not. What? Biting her nipples until she screamed with a mixture of pleasure and pain. He was all man. I'm deliberately not reading that sexually. Yeah. 8.5 solid inches that he made her deep throat until she gagged. I'm just reading what's on the page. When she finally came, spread eagled on top of him, she let out a scream so loud and out of control that he clamped his big hairy hand over her mouth and told her to shut the fuck up. She liked a man who was in charge. Personality-wise, he reminded her of her father. In the looks department, he was no Dexter. He was not very tall, dark and stocky, with plenty of thick body hair, close-set eyes with fleshy lips. The combination made him attractive in a sexy, flashy way. All right. This was their second assignation. Hold on there. That's that word they pronounce? Is it assignation? Oh, no, hold on. Let me look. I don't know everything. I think it means like this was their second encounter, but let me look. Okay. I mean, not even know so them could conjugate assignment into assignation. I didn't know that. Never saw the word a day in my life. But an appointment to meet someone in secret. Okay. Typically one made by lovers. An assignation. Okay. Maybe Google if you say the word. Let me see if I saw if you say. Oh, assignation. Okay, got it. Oh, assignation. Where's the Afufa dog about? Afufa dog about there? I must have for me. Hey dog must have bark after my cat. Me no know. Okay, let me continue reading here. This was their second assignation, their first one in a bed. The time before, right after they had met at the opening of an art gallery show, He had parked in a dark Soho side street, shared a vial of coke with her, and made rough love to her in the back of his gleaming grey Bentley, while a couple of transients looked on through the open window. It was one big turn on. Why chat say? A oof a dog about there. I say. I that me see, me not see nothing else. Me not see nothing else, but me continue. Let me continue. Hold on there. It's something a spin. Kadoy! Kadoy! I'm not here. Let me not see Kadoy right there, so. But anyway, she will speak when she is ready. Tonight was even better. More coke, more sex. Her two favorite things. Jesus! She exclaimed, reaching for a cigarette and lighting up. That was sensational. Joel was already on his way into the bathroom. She took another drag on her cigarette and peeked at her watch. It was past 6. Time for her to go home and spend another boring evening with Dexter. Was it any wonder that she wanted him dead? If Dexter was out of her life, she would be free to pursue a proper relationship with Joel. I wish Joel that Billy Joel. Anyway, right now he was playing it poker faced because he knew she was unavailable. She'd give anything to spend the night with him, dinner at a nice restaurant, drinks at a happening club, then back to his place for more of the same. Idly she wondered what it would be like to be married to a man like Joel. He was a goer, a doer. At 32, according to what he had told her, he practically ran his father's enormous real estate business. What a match they would make! They both had powerful, rich fathers, men from whom they had learned plenty. Together, they would rule New York. Only Dexter stood in her way. Damn him! He was a dumb nobody. Why'd she married him in the first place? Oh, yeah. She had thought he was destined to be a movie star. End of that story. She could hear the sound of the shower coming from the bathroom. Surreptitiously, she slid open Joel's bedside drawer and checked out the contents. A gun. Excellent. He showed he had balls. 6 boxes of peppermint Tic Tacs. A porno video entitled Hot Spurts, an unopened package of extra large condoms, and a pale blue envelope with Sweetie written across the front. Quick as a flash, she extracted the note inside. Babykins, I love you. Always will. See you next week. Keep my place warm. It was signed Honey Stuff. Honey Stuff? Who the hell was Honey Stuff? Rosarita was outraged. Did Joel have a girlfriend he hadn't told her about? She was about to rummage further when she heard the shower stop. Quickly, she slid the note back into the drawer. Joel strode back into the room, a towel knotted loosely around his waist. He still had a hard-on, and the jut of his cock betwixt the thick towel was unmistakable. It was about time she put her mark on him, something Rosarita knew how to do better than anyone. Come over here, hot stuff, she crooned, beckoning him to the bed. I've got something for you. Joel didn't need asking twice. Dexter paced around the living room, glancing at his watch every 5 minutes. Where was Rosarita? He had hoped she'd be home before his parents arrived, making it the perfect surprise. But at 6:30, she was still not there. Reluctantly, he picked up the phone and called his father-in-law, breaking out in a sweat as he did so. Chas Vincent scared the heck out of him. He looked like a refugee from The Sopranos and acted like one too. Earlier on in their relationship, Rosarita had proudly informed him that Chad was king of construction in New Jersey. He didn't know or care what Chad was king of. He simply preferred to keep as much distance as possible between them. "Hi, Chaz," he said, making sure his voice sounded strong. "Is Rosarita there?" Why'd she be here?" Chaz growled suspiciously. "She left 2 hours ago." "Did she say where she was going?" "Probably to buy a gun and blow you away," Chaz thought. "Nah," he said. "Most likely she's hitting the stores. You know women spend all their time in titty drops." I thought he was going to say in titty shops. Dexter faked a laugh. Even though he had been involved in the world of modeling, he still couldn't stand the vulgarity. "Call me if she's not home by midnight," Chaz said jovially. "I'll send you the cops." "Cod!" All right, I'm going to hear her. "I'll send out the cops." A concerned father. How nice. Dexter roamed around the apartment, stopping at the guest room to make sure it was all ready for his parents' imminent arrival. He had personally gone to the flower shop and chosen 12 perfect red roses, his mother's favorites. Conchita, the maid, had placed them in an exquisite amber glass on the dresser next to the television. He had also bought roses for Rosarita, white ones, which he planned to present to her later when they were alone. Tonight was going to be special. He was absolutely sure of it. "I don't know why I can't hear you. I don't hear a word. I don't hear a word of you, sister. Not one word. Not sure why. Talk now." "Me don't know. Me not hear nothing." "Yeah, talk, but me not hear." "Stizzy Ella." All right. See, them skit says she's hearing both of us, but I am not hearing you. I wonder why. Why am I not here? I'm not hearing you. Stizzy Ella, how are you? Your accent screams Jamaica. Am I correct? You see my flag right there over my head? So you know you are correct. Call me, know why I'm not hear you. That is strange. I don't know what happened. I'm sorry. Something must wrong with your phone, man. Because it can't be my phone. How you doing, Stizzy Ella? I'm not sure what's happening, Cad, but I can't hear you. I not hear one word what you say. Nothing at all. I can't have my phone. My phone turn up. It turn up. It turn up to the book. So I don't know. Hold on, let me see if I have like the lights on. See them, I have the lights on. I have the lights on, so I have another apps running in the back. I have another apps running in the background. I don't know the chat can't hear you and me can't hear you. Me must have the chat people them can go up at the altar and me can go because my nose flat. Why? Because them can't go up at the altar card. Me can't go up at the altar because my nose flat. Jonathan, what happened? She said me I'm a cheap phone, I get trouble. Jonathan, what's up? Happy Sunday. She have to go buy me one expensive phone. That's what she said now. So I'm cheap my phone cheap because I can't hear her. She gonna have to go buy me one expensive phone. Yeah. Buy me one expensive phone. I am doing great, Jonathan. I hope everything is good with you, my love. But they are read one sexy book, yeah, brother. But they are read one sexy book. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know, say when you can't join them, you just read about it. You just read about the things that they do. That's the stage of my life, me then. I just have to read about the things that you all do. The things you are doing to and with each other, I can only read about it. So let me go and read. Shit. Rosa Richter screeched, snagging her expensive tights as she entered a cab outside Joel's building. Where to, lady? Asked the cabbie, not even bothering to turn around. There's a sharp edge on the bottom of your door, she complained. You had better do something about it. Where to? He repeated, cracking his knuckles. She leaned forward to get a look at his ID. Musaf Kiradatian. Oh, Jesus. Musaf Kiridarian. Oh, Lord. Another foreigner not worth arguing with. Chaz said they should all be lined up and shot. Oh, no, hear this, you know. Why may I read this book at this time of the year? Eh? Why? Listen. Chaz said they should all be lined up and shot. Sometimes he could be a bit of an extremist. After all, if that ever happened, who would be around to drive the cabs and trains? Get rid of the garbage? How will them write a book, yeah? Jonathan said, if you sure said a Trump write the book. Like, it's interesting that in this current political climate, may I read a book here that was written so long ago? Not so long. Let me see how when the book your copyright. Hold on. Look, see how any copyrights. Copyright. The year 2000. The year 2000. 25 years ago, the book was copyright. Damn. But anyway, make me continue reading. He says, get rid of the garbage. Run all the electronics and camera shops. 61st and Park, she said brusquely, and make it fast. I'm in a hurry. The cabbie set off with a jerk, almost throwing her off the seat. She muttered an insult under her breath and groped in her purse for a cigarette. She was about to light up when Mustafa caught her eyes in the rearview mirror and announced sternly, no smoking. You see the sign? Shit, she muttered, putting the cigarette away. What kind of stupid rule was that? And how come a lowly cab driver was allowed to tell her what to do? If she was very nice to Chaz, maybe he'd spring for her own car and drive her, especially if she suggested it as a Christmas or birthday present. He was rich enough to afford it, and there was no reason for her to ride around town in a filthy cab with some crazy foreigner who wouldn't allow her to smoke. Of course, Chad would ask why she didn't drive the Mercedes he had bought her. But who could park in Manhattan? It was a fucking nightmare. For a moment, her thoughts drifted to Joel. What a guy. He had been really pissed, though, when she had sunk her teeth into his neck so deep that any little cupcake trying to put her claim on him might notice immediately that he had been playing somewhere. He had jumped back a foot. What the fuck have you done to me? They still was hateful back then. Exactly, Kat. Exactly. What the fuck have you done to me? He yelled. He had yelled, rubbing his neck. Sorry, she murmured innocently. You shouldn't be such a turn-on. I couldn't help myself. Fuck. he complained. This is gonna swell up. I know something else that's gonna swell up. She had giggled, reaching for his ever-ready dick. It was solid and thick, just the way she liked them. Now, sitting in the cab, she wondered what little honey stuff would have had to say when she got a load of her boyfriend's neck. Well, ex-boyfriend, because Rosarita had big plans for Joel. He wasn't going to be easy. She could already tell that. He was stubborn, didn't care to be pushed, and like most men, he was probably shit scared of commitment. However, Rosarita was confident enough to think that she was quite capable of changing all that. Yeah, no, so some women are saying that them can't change, man. You can't change them. Yeah. And the man have to regular for settle down. I know you. Kim say, I really want to go on over here. Kim. Some big things and some things are going over here, child. Some things going on over here. But I continue read it. He wasn't going to be easy, she could already tell. He was stubborn, didn't care to be pushed, and like most men, he was probably shit scared of commitment. However, Rosarita was confident enough to think that she was quite capable of changing all that. When can we get together again? She asked before leaving his apartment. You were married, aren't you? Oh, me never see the art me. Oh, it miss me. What, Jessa? What? What kind of allow me to read? Child, you are married, aren't you? He said gruffly. And you see how she a plan to analyze her husband to go be with this man. You know here? Me down in a Rosarita business. Me have to in it. Because Rosarita get out of hand. Since when did that make a difference? Joel had laughed, more a throaty growl. I get off on an office manatee occasionally, he had said. You would close the door, raise the shades. There's plenty of tall buildings around. You never know who is watching. You into that? When? She had asked eagerly. Call me in a couple of days. We'll make a plan. She knew that she couldn't ask him to call her. It wouldn't do for Dex to pick up any message Joel might leave. You do know I'm planning a divorce, she had said. You told that pretty boy husband of yours? Not yet, but I will. My father's getting involved. How come? 'Cause he'll make damn sure Dexter doesn't give me any trouble. Joel had looked at her admiringly. You're a piece of work, you know that? Never said I wasn't, she had answered with a knowing smirk. Then she had given him a long French kiss he wouldn't forget in a hurry. And then she left the apartment. Now she was groaning inside because she had to go home and face that big ox of a husband, and she knew exactly what he'd say. Guess what happened on the set today? Who give a flying fuck what happened on the set today? She certainly didn't. Dex simply didn't get it. She wanted a divorce, and tonight she would hammer the point home, because if he didn't get it soon, he would be one dead pretty boy, with or without her father's cooperation. Hey! Kazen! What's up? Kazen, what's up? How you doing, my love? I hope you're having a great Sunday. I hope you're having a good day. Mike said, what the name of that book? It named Lethal Seduction by Jackie Collins. Lethal Seduction. And it's on lethal for true. God send me a pastor tonight. God, you're so wrong. You're so God. Hey, gosh. God not easy at all. Help my soul. Kaizen. Well, something really wrong. My phone have a problem for you. It look like come back a morning. Come back a morning. Kaizen. I don't know. Kaizen. What's up? Come back a morning for the pasta part. For the pasta part. Me not hear a word what Kaizen I say. I can't have my phone. I must feel no phone. Really? What could wrong with my phone doing, sir? But as long as you not hear me. As long as you not hear me, that's good. Oh, he mute himself. Oh, sorry. I mean not hear good. But him a talk now because the blue ring they come round. But me not hear him. You not hear him? Yeah, me not hear you. Me clean out my ears. Oh, well. Okay, you not hear him. Well, me not hear him. So, I must... Well, I must something with my phone. That means an app is open on my phone. That means an app is open on my phone. Either YouTube or something. One app I use the microphone. But if I have to go search to see which app, it will go mess up with me. Let me see. We can't close all. I don't know if we close them something, yeah. How you have to close them? I don't know if we close the app them on here, sir. And if I click close all, everything I go close. So, hold on there. Cancel. Hold on there. Alright. Talk now, let me see if I hear you. Okay, me not hear you. Alright, let me go back around there so go see. Okay. May I try to close all of the app them when I have open. Sorry. May I try to close all of the app them. Just to ensure so I not have nothing. Ensure so I not have nothing open because something is open. There's an app that is open that is... I don't know which app open. I hit this. Talk now, let me see if me hear you. Rotted. Sitting wrong here, so about another Bible. Okay. We can't close all. Let me see, but something in the background I play. Something in the background I use the microphone. But me don't know what. What is? I don't know. The only thing me have to go do, me have to go turn off the live and come back. I mean, I really want to turn off the live and come back, but only that I could have to do. Forget the sound to be working. Because clearly something in the background is using the microphone, but I can't tell how. But anyway, we'll continue reading. Wanna believe so with that chapter 5? Me tell you so that book can not go take long to read, eh? Me no know what you say, Kazen. Hold on, I'm supposed to can't hear you if I put in my headphone. Don't stop the live. Alright, me can't be alright. Me not gonna stop the live. Alright. What you say now, Kazen? Yeah, me can't hear you with my earpiece. Okay. I'll keep that in mind. Right now, what cats we are deal with? Eh? Send it to universe. As some said too. That may I work with. That way I work with. All right. Well, right now we are read a book here with upon chapter 5. Welcome. With upon chapter 5. The book here is steaming at the Sunday night here. No man, I don't single people book. People who not single can listen to. Be yourself. Let me read the book. If people are along for hear what the book has say. You gonna play music? All right, me I'll link you later. All right. I gotta tell ya. Later, my love. I gotta tell ya. Yes, Madison said, completely uninterested in what the man sitting next to her had to say. You have the sexiest lips. Really? She responded, hardly taking a beat. How interesting. I was about to say the same thing to you. Her dinner companion looked at her perplexed. That's what I like about you. Always got a smart answer. That's what I don't like about you, she wanted to say, but she didn't. It wasn't worth the trouble. She was seated to the left of Joel Blaine, Playboy son of real estate billionaire Leon Blaine. Leon was an interesting man. Joel was not. Joel was a typical rich man's son who thought the world should kiss his ass because of his father. What a crock that was. As far as Madison was concerned, Joel Blaine was a bad joke, the last of the useless playboys. What's the matter? Joel said, wondering how he could get her to put out. Can't take a compliment? What happened to your neck? She asked, pointedly staring at the red and swollen hickey. Girlfriend got a little too frisky? When last I get somebody one icky. When last I get one icky. Call Da Vinci there. Call Da Vinci name Da Vinci. Alright. When last I get one icky. Let's continue. Joel glowered. This bitch Rosarita. 2 rounds with her, and he felt like Mike Tyson. Why couldn't a woman like Madison go for him? Smart, stylish, and beautiful. She was the kind of woman he should be with. Not some coked out married whore like Rosarita Falcon. Jesus, you hear man I talk about her? And she planned to kill her husband for go be with him? Although he had to admit that Rosarita was something in bed, horny as a wild cat, with claws to prove it. If you like my lips, how about us going out sometime? He said with an encouraging wink. You and me, yeah, we could make things happen. I don't give it and I don't, you don't give it and you don't give it and you don't like it. Okay. He didn't like that. Women were all the same, a bunch of bitches. His father had taught him that. And that's about the only thing Leon had taught him. Has anyone ever told you you are a ball breaker? He said with a sharp scroll. Has anyone ever told you you are barking up the wrong woman? Oh, Lord. She replied coolly. Jesus, he muttered, turning away. Madison reminded herself to have a little talk with Anton about his seating. Surely he knew better than to stick her next to Joel Blaine. Why was Joel there anyway? He was the most unlikely guest, hardly on Anton's A-list. You know why me I start tickle me. She turned to the man on her other side, Mortimer Marcel, the designer. Mortimer was gay, but always entertaining. A tall, slim man in his early 50s, he was elegance personified. You must come visit our showroom sometime, he said, chic as ever, in a spun suit with crisp white shirt, pearl gray tie, and diamond cufflinks. I'm presenting some divine outfits this year. You love everything. Do I get free clothes? She asked jokingly. For you? Yes, Mortimer said, taking her seriously. You're an excellent advertisement. Why do I suddenly feel? I am? She asked, surprised. First, she had gorgeous lips. Now she was an excellent advertisement. Hey, girl, she thought wryly, you are certainly scoring tonight. My phone does go off. People them over TikTok and stop. I forgot to take off the notifications because it just make too much noise on my head. Anyway, she glanced across at the other table where Jamie was glowing as Chris Phoenix plied her with compliments. Peter was slumped in a chair a few seats away with his wife. He did not look too happy. Next to him was a stick-thin, whoa, my eye. Whoa. Listen, my eye get red. Anyway. Next to him was a stick-thin, heroin-addicted supermodel, a girl who was failing to hold his interest. Tonight is not Anton's greatest seating triumph, Madison thought. She feigned a yawn. I have to leave early. Why is this eye bothering me? I have to leave early, she whispered to Mortimer. So do I, he whispered back, indicating his living love at the next table. Perhaps Jefferson and I can offer you a ride. Great, she said, and was relieved to find that Joel had turned his full attention to the woman on the other side of the table, a gorgeous black opera singer. Poor soul! There was no great punishment than being hit on by Joel Blaine. As soon as they finished dessert, she was out of there, sitting in the back of a town car with Mortimer and the black, bald, and sexy Jefferson. What a waste, she thought. Why are all the good ones gay? Why fear thoughts always? Anyway, yeah. David hadn't liked gay men. They had threatened his masculinity or some such garbage. She remembered how they had often argued about his homophobic tendencies. Of course, gay women were fine with him. There were many times he had tried to persuade her to do it with another girl. To his annoyance, she had always refused. Threesomes were definitely not her thing. On reflection, there were quite a few things about David she hadn't liked. So why wasted 2 years? Great sex, she was forced to admit. Great, uncomplicated satisfying sex. Anyway, let's continue. How important do you think sex is? She asked Mortimer. What? He said, not quite sure he had heard her correctly. I'm conducting a survey. How important is sex between two people? Mortimer glanced quickly at Jefferson. What's your answer? Jefferson grinned. Sex, man, it's the most important thing in the world. I agree, Mortimer said, adjusting one of his diamond cufflinks. Getting along with somebody is more important, especially when you live together. How long have you two been a couple? Madison asked. I discovered Jefferson when he was a mere child. All right, make we hear about Mortimer now. Let's hear Mortimer give himself away. I discovered Jefferson when he was a mere child, Mortimer said, patting his boyfriend on the knee. 18 or 19. He had just arrived in America from Trinidad. I was living with an older man at the time, so Jefferson and I became friends first. That's nice, Madison said. He was my favorite model, Mortimer said, turning to his significant other. Isn't that right, dear? Jefferson grinned again and shook his head. No way, man. You came onto me in the dressing room the first show I did. It was like, oh, here we go. Everybody was laughing about it. Who is everybody? Mortimer said huffily. The people who work for you. They knew what you were like. They knew what I used to be like, Mortimer corrected. Then you came along, and now I'm a changed man. You see, my eye just turned red. Not sure why. Not sure why, but anyway, I must cry me a cry. Two them people in the book I get some, I mean I get none. I must cry me a cry. Anyway, anyway, when I can't get any, you read about it. Okay, so make we read about it. They know what I used to be like, Mortimer corrected. Then you came along, and now I'm a changed man. Yeah, you'd better believe it, Jefferson said, with another huge grin, 'cause I don't take kindly to nobody messing around on me. I'm duly warned, Mortimer said. So be it, Jefferson said, and they exchanged a long, intimate look. Madison began to feel as if she was in the way. Maybe a cab would have been a better idea. Are you two interviewing us for the magazine? Mortimer asked curiously. No, she said, shaking her head. I am merely thinking about relationships. You see, I was in one where I hardly had anything in common with the guy. I mean, we didn't even like the same music. Not good, Jefferson interjected. You gotta get off on the sounds. Right, she agreed. I'm into soul and jazz, and he was a classic freak. We never read the same books or watched the same TV programs. He loved sports. I'm bored by them. I guess we were totally different. Then what was the big attraction? Jefferson asked. Sex, of course. And now that he's gone, I realize that maybe I simply got too comfortable. You know what I mean. Were you planning on getting married before you broke up with him? Mortimer asked, ever the practical one. Well, he broke up with me, Madison explained. That's why I feel kind of, like it's unfinished business. She paused for a moment before continuing. Then he ran off and married someone else to make me feel really good. What an asshole, Jefferson said. Agreed, Madison said. How do you like to see him again? Jefferson ventured. You know what? Fun times. Those were fun times on that side. What? Yes, I'm a woman. I get pink eye. No, man. I don't think it's pink eye. I'm just joking around, but I know, sir. Pink eye. No, sir. I doubt it. I don't think that's what it is. But when I finish reading, when I'm finished reading at around 9 o'clock, so that time I'm go wash my ear, right? Yeah. When I finish reading around 9 o'clock, me I go dye my ear, wash my ear, and then wash my eye with some salt water. I'll be fine. Maybe I something get in there I'm gonna realize. Yeah. But that's fine. Let's continue reading. She was merely around when he was ready for something different. But you're still pretty pissed, huh? Jefferson said, nodding his bald head like he understood perfectly. She laughed, slightly embarrassed because it was true, and she didn't want to be pissed. She wanted to forget all about David once and for all. Oh, God. I feel like I'm sitting in a shrink's office, she groaned. Maybe that's what you should do, Mortimer suggested. It certainly could help. No way. I hate shrinks. All they do is sit there on their smug asses, nodding their heads, telling you what you want to hear. Either that, or they don't say anything at all. Screw that. Jefferson nodded knowingly. Get yourself to a shrink, girl, he said succinctly. You need help. Before she could summon up a suitable reply, the car stopped outside her building. She invited them up for a drink, but they declined, which was okay with her because she was tired anyway and edgy and ready to crawl into bed. Her dog, Slammer, a large black Labrador, greeted her at the door. Well, it wasn't really her dog. It wasn't really her dog. She had reluctantly agreed to look after the animal for a friend who had gone to Australia for a week. The friend had gotten engaged, and the week had turned into 3 months. In spite of herself, Madison had grown quite fond of the big dog. Slammer didn't need walking because he had given the doorman a key because she had given the doorman a key to her apartment and he had already taken him out, which was good news because she wasn't into late night strolls into a pooper scooper for company. Yeah, you don't notice people have dinner so they get out of their house, middle of the night, go carry dog for go walk dog. You don't have dog? These people may attack. You don't have dog? You don't get up, go walk the dog. Would never be me. But anywho, let me continue reading. Let me continue reading. Wandering into her small kitchen, she checked her answering machine. No messages. So she picked up the phone and called her dad. Michael sounded half asleep, but she didn't care. Why are you calling so late, sweetheart? He mumbled. Everything okay? Are you sleeping? A very audible yawn. I was. Sorry, she said. Not sorry at all. What's going on? You sound down. No. It's simply that I do not appreciate hearing from Anton Couch that you guys are getting an apartment in New York. Hey, sweetie, I really am asleep. A pause. Can we talk about this tomorrow? Sure, she said, slamming down the phone. She couldn't stand it when her father didn't give her his full and undivided attention. Michael had always been there for her, unlike her mother, who was more of a distant figure in her life. It had always been that way. As far back as she could remember, her mother, Stella, was this exotic smelling, glamorous creature she hardly ever saw. As a child, she had been raised by a nanny, then sent off to boarding school at 11, vacations at summer camp, and finally college. The day she graduated, Michael had handed her the keys to her own small apartment. It was quite obvious there was no going home, and that was fine with her. She loved her parents, although there were times she felt she hardly knew her mother. But that was okay too. Michael more than compensated. He was a dynamic, interesting man, and she was glad he was her father. She undressed, got into bed, and attempted to read. After a few minutes, she found her mind wandering and knew it was impossible to concentrate. Slammer jumped on the bed, snuggled up beside her. She pushed him off. It was comforting that somebody cared, even if that somebody was a dog. She thought about Anton's dinner and how she had hated every minute of it. It hadn't been up to his usual standard. Joel Blaine hitting on her, oh, and Peter Nova drunk, double, ooh. Tomorrow, she'd fix an appointment with Victor's private eye to sort out Jamie's problems. Oh well, that's what friends are for. She switched off the light, but after 10 minutes realized there was no way she was falling asleep. It was destined to be one of those nights. Maybe Jefferson was right. Maybe she did need to see a shrink. Of course, Victor would know the best one in town. But how could she ask him? She tossed restlessly, finally gave up, and clicked on the television, flicking past several porno stations, marveling at the softcore music where the girl's breast jutted to attention without a sign of the effects of gravity. What a bunch of freaks. You don't see guys running out buying themselves perky silicone balls. Silicone balls? What an hilarious thought. She began to giggle. Slammer started to pant, a sure sign that he too was not ready for sleep. Finally, she got up and padded into the kitchen, where she fixed herself a cheese and ham sandwich with plenty of lettuce and pickles. Slammer got the crust. He was one happy dog. Finally satisfied, they both returned to bed. Wait, let me put my headphone on so. You know, so when I start reading one book and the book sweet me, I find it hard to put on the book before me done. But I gotta wet my whistle. Tonight I have to go put on the book before me done. I finish read 9 o'clock. Yeah, 9 o'clock is good time. I gotta finish reading. I have to get myself together for work in the morning. Chapter 6. We're on to... Why does something I keep on come up on the screen? Anyway, we are on to chapter 6. What? Rosarita shrieked bad-temperedly, staring at Dexter, who stood in the front hall, blocking her way. Excuse me. It occurred to her that maybe he had found out about her and Joel. Why does something keep on come on the screen? Why don't move and go away from there? I'll connect my headphones and they just keep popping up and blurring the screen. But anyway, it occurred to her that maybe he had found out about her and Joel, and she was all set with 1,000 excuses. Not that she needed excuses, but until this was over, she had to keep up some kind of show. Got a surprise, Dexter said. Good or bad, she snapped, cagey as ever. Good. Then perhaps I can come in the fucking apartment, she said, attempting to push past him. Don't sweat, he admonished in a fierce whisper. Maybe, just maybe, he had landed the lead role in a major movie and was about to tell her. Wouldn't that be something? She could dream, couldn't she? Dexter suddenly jumped to one side, making an extravagant gesture with his left arm. And to Rosarita's horror, there stood Martha and Matt Cochranger, his goddamn parents. Shit! The words slid out of her mouth before she could stop it. What in hell are they doing here? But she was able to refrain from actually saying it out loud. Hello, dear, said Martha, a plump, faded blonde in a lime green polyester pantsuit with jaggly rhinestone earrings and white plastic open-toe sandals. How lovely to see you. Rosarita was still in shock as Matt stepped forward, giving her an all-encompassing hug. Dexter's dad was a florid faced man in his mid 50s with gloss cropped gray hair and faded blue eyes. Once handsome like his son, he had been beaten with submission by the passing years. Plus, he had a huge protruding gut, solid as a football. "How's our Dix?" he began. Dexter interrupted, frowning at his father. "How is our Dexter's little girl?" Matt corrected himself quickly, wary of his famous son's wrath. For once in her life, Rosarita was speechless. This was a nightmare. What had she done to deserve a visit from the Cockranges? "Mom, Dad, I didn't tell Rosarita you were coming," Dexter said, beaming. "She's kind of overcome. You know how much she loves you." "Of course, Dexter." He poured it on. How could he do this to her? How could it be? "They're staying with us, honey," he continued. "I had Conchita fix up the guest room." "You did?" she croaked, wishing nothing more than an immediate shower and a long night of uninterrupted sleep. "Isn't it a nice surprise?" Dexter said, squeezing her arm. "I knew you'd be pleased." Well, I'm shocked," she stammered. Then turning to his big, blusty dad, she said, "How do you get away from your job, Matt?" "Took a 3-week leave of absence," Matt replied proudly. "Everyone at work watches our boy on dark days. Makes me something of a celebrity back home." 3 weeks? This was getting worse every minute. God damn it! She asked for a divorce and the motherfucker flew in his parents. Unreal, isn't it? "He wanted to be sure to spend plenty of time with you," Martha said. "Remember when you came to see us before you were married? The family is still talking about your visit." "Yes," Matt agreed, rubbing his hands together. "And I'm looking forward to getting together with that dad of yours. He promised to show us the town." "Oh, that was rich." "Oh, a long time I use that phrase there. That was rich." "Oh, all right." "Oh, that was rich." Now about a tour of all the strip clubs and a few drop-ins at mob-connected restaurants. Matt and Martha would fit right in. "I wish I'd known you were coming," Rosarita said, struggling for something to say. "I would have planned dinner." "That's all right," Dexter said. "Mister, I've got it all under control. I made a reservation at 21. Valiantly, she tried to keep her scroll down to a minimum. "You did?" 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock, she repeated. "So let's all get cleaned up and meet in the living room at 7:30, Dexter said. "Should I wear a tie?" Matt worried. "Can I wear a pantsuit?" Martha asked anxiously. Rosarita couldn't stand it. Her life was turning to shit right before her very eyes. Says she feel like, oh, the song go again. "Tired of the boring thing, want some excitement." She know what she got the tightest. Anyway, let's continue. Somehow, Rosarita got through dinner, seething all the while. They were not given a good table at the restaurant, and she could understand why. Matt and Martha Cockranger had suburbia written all over them, and apparently the name Dexter Falcon meant nothing. She didn't mind that they were shown to a lousy table, because the truth was she didn't wish to be seen with them. Christ! Going over with Chaz to one of his gangster hangouts would be better than this. In fact, anything would be an improvement. So far, she had not gotten Dexter alone. When she did, she planned on giving him an earful. How dare he invite his parents to stay without consulting her, especially when he knew she had been talking about divorce. The way he acted, it was as if they were the happiest couple in the world. Was he losing it? She spent the better part of dinner worrying that Joel might come in and spot her, although everyone else appeared to be having a wonderful time. Martha downed 2 vodka martinis in a row and promptly got tipsy. Matt ordered several beers and kept jumping up to visit the men's room, while Dexter had a big stupid grin on his big handsome face all night. Boy, was he living in dreamland. But you see, she had plans that she no want for her husband. And the man where she want no want her because the man say, you not married woman. Oh, you want me to make plans for you, for me and you. You are married woman. There man, what's up? There man, me I get me excitement on tonight. Let's continue. On their way out, a female customer stopped Dexter and asked him for his autograph. It made Matt and Martha's night. It put Rosarita in an even worse mood than before. Didn't the idiot fan standing there with a pen and a dopey look on her moon face realize that he was nothing but a stupid nobody well on his way to nowhere? Rosarita squelched a strong desire to scream. Why did she have to stand for this crap? Why couldn't her father cooperate and arrange to have Dexter whacked, thereby putting an end to this charade? It was such a lovely evening, dear, Martha enthused when they got back to the apartment. You make my little boy so happy. It truly warms my heart. Oh, God. Was she going to have to face Martha at the funeral? Would she be forced to play the bereaved widow and pretend to be desolate? The moment she and Dexter were alone, she started a litany of complaints. What do you think you're doing? She shrieked. Inviting your goddamn parents without checking with me first? This is unfucking acceptable. Why are you so upset? Dexter asked blankly. You have always told me you love my parents. When did I ever say that? When we first visited them, remember? Before we were married. Ha! Before we were married, I said a lot of things I wouldn't say now. You did? Was he obtuse or what? God had given him exceptional looks, but he sure as shit hadn't given him any brains. Listen to me, she said, spitting her words out very slowly, making sure he heard every single one. You don't seem to get it. I want a divorce. That means I do not intend to sit around playing nice with your parents. You are a bitch, you know that? Yes, she said spitefully. I know that. You are certainly not the girl I married. Hey, when I married you, I thought you were on your way to being a movie star for Christ's sakes, not a TV hack. I suppose that's why you married me, huh? Yes, as a matter of fact, that's exactly why I married you. I expected we'd move into a big Beverly Hills mansion and mix with all the other movie stars. She threw him a stony glare. You hadn't lived up to your side of the bargain, Dexter. I didn't know we had a bargain, he countered. However, we are married, Rosarita, and I refuse to give you a divorce. You do, huh? She said, her tone getting shriller by the minute. Well, let me tell you this. If you don't agree to divorce, you'll be very, very sorry indeed. Is that a threat? Sounds suspiciously like one, doesn't it? He stared at the woman he had given his name to. How could she be so cold? Surely this wasn't the same sweet girl he had walked down the aisle with. Where had that darling girl gone? You see, when people are divorced, used to divorce. I guess if you divorce the right person, yeah, you can divorce the right person. If you are with somebody decent, you can divorce, and the two of you just agree that you know what, we can't do this anymore. We're gonna go our separate ways. Everybody come to the table, be transparent, and it's gonna hurt, but go on our separate ways. But when you have people who determine to them want to drag you down, them Lord Jesus, divorce. What me tell you no say, When me tell you say, would I never do that thing again? Them would have it tie me, gag me, everything. If you make me go in front of somebody go talk about I do. I do what? I do not. Let me tell you something. But anyway, the man me if he married me give up on him too soon. But anyway, that's another story for another day. That's another story for another day. But let's continue. I thought we were planning a family, he ventured sadly. For the number of times you get it up a week. We are lucky to have a fucking cat, she responded. Damn, she cold. The man said, hold on, let me read this again. The man says, I thought we were planning a family, he ventured sadly. For the number of times you get it up a week, we are lucky to have a fucking cat, she responded. My call is 5 a.m. every day, he said evenly. I need my sleep. Weekends too? She sneered. Are you saying we don't make love enough? I'm saying we never do it. And when we do, it's always in the missionary position. So she feel like, tired of the boring thing, wants some excitement. You know what she got the title? When me I read the book here at this time, when the song you busting on my head 2 days ago. All right, you say always missionary position. She placed her hands on her lips. She placed her hands on her hips, glaring at him accusingly. Do I look like a fucking missionary to you? He shook his head. I thought you were such a swinger, she continued, her voice one long monotonous whine. Emilio, come off of me, bitch. You need to behave yourself, Emilio. Back up yourself. Behave yourself. Alright, sir. Let's continue. Let me gear up. Let me gear up and continue. Didn't you fuck your way through a bunch of horny models before we were married? I wish you wouldn't use language like that, he objected. When did you turn so hollower than that? So, I want to be so hollower. Maybe talk nonsense. Oi, let me calm down. Let me behave yourself, Emilio. And let me read properly, okay? I wish you wouldn't use language like that, he objected. When did you turn so holier than thou? She said tartly. I married this hunk with his dick on show all over Times Square. Now look at you. It wasn't on show, he objected. I was wearing underwear. Give me a fucking break, she jeered. Everyone saw your package, and I must say it looked pretty damn good upon that billboard. It got me, didn't it? I've never done nudity. No, she snapped back. Now, how about privately for dear old Mortimer? Absolutely not, Dexter said, his face reddening. He's gay, isn't he? She taunted. He discovered you, didn't he? So don't tell me you didn't have his dick to get where you are today. What? Not that it's very far, but I suppose you were a successful model. You should have stayed one. It was you who wanted me to start acting. It was me, wasn't it? Come on. You were forever watching those movies with Kevin Costner and Harrison Ford. You always wanted to be exactly like them. So tell me, Dexter, why aren't you? I will be one of these days, he said, truly believing. In a pig's ear, she snorted derisively. Look, he sighed. All I'm asking is for you to be nice to my parents while they're here. If you can do that, then, when they leave, if it's what you want, we'll talk about divorce. She didn't believe him. But what else could she do? Okay, she said. Deal. But it's not a 24-hour thing. I've got to get out and breathe. Defender, Defender, the story got you too. Lord have mercy. The story I go on with itself. Make me all start sweat to inside. The story I make me all start sweat. Be nice to them, he repeated. Especially my mother. She thinks the world of you. Yeah, yeah, she said. I'll take Martha to Saks and let her loose with my credit card. Is that nice enough? He didn't believe her, but what else could he do? Such a feel like oh, the song go again. Me forget the words of the song. Hold on, let me look for the song. Hold on, let me look for it. Oh, what the guy name again? Da Vinci? I said the song go. Hold on there. I said name Da Vinci. Jamaican musical artist. Let me see for me. Hold on there. Hold on there. Let me listen to this song. What song name? What song name, people? It name Scream. I eat this. I eat that. The boring thing wants some excitement. You know what? I don't know somebody up on YouTube, so I can't play straight. All right, all right. Okay, people. All right. May I play the song afterwards? I can't play it full pair. So a long time I don't hear one Jamaican artist with one song when I love so. When I just love the rhythm. It reminds me of Taurus Riley. Remember Taurus Riley's song? Remember that song there? Yeah. Here's what the name of the book. It's called Lethal Seduction. Lethal Seduction. Yeah, that's what it's called. Let's continue though. Hello, Madison said, reaching for the phone. Slammer immediately began licking her bare arm with his floppy, wet tongue. Hello, she repeated, attempting to push the overly affectionate dog away. Hi, sweetheart. It's Michael. How come he never said Dad? It was weird, but ever since she could remember, she had called her parents by their first names, Stella and Michael. Sometimes she kind of wished for her dad thing. I'm asleep, she mumbled. Now you know what it's like, he said good-naturedly. Call me back when you wake up. No, 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 don't go away, she said quickly. What time is it? 8. On Saturday? She said, struggling to sit up. I was thinking that if you were available, I'd drive into the city and we'd go for brunch. That'd be great, she said, stifling a yawn. You and Stella? No, he said shortly. Stella can't make it. Capone, what's up? Why? It doesn't matter. Where would you like to go? What about the plaza? She suggested. It's all kind of like, grown up. He laughed softly. My intelligent big girl is such a kid sometimes. She smiled. Why not? He was her father, and it was fun to feel like a kid again. Will you pick me up at my apartment? She said, stifling another yawn. I'll do that. She put the phone down and hauled herself out of bed. Slammer followed, panting and watching her with his big, brown, soulful eyes as she headed to the bathroom. I suppose you want to go out, she said. He barked once. Sometimes she could swear he understood every word. Okay, okay. Let me clean my teeth and put some clothes on. Then you and I will hit the streets. She wriggled into a pair of faded jeans and a sweatshirt, tied her hair back, and left the apartment, an eager Slammer trotting obediently beside her. In the elevator, she realized she had left the pooper scooper behind and had to go back to get it. It was humiliating, walking the streets and picking up dog crap. Whoever came up with that rule? Outside, the crisp morning air woke her up. She began thinking about her conversation with her father. If Michael was coming into town without Stella on a weekend, it definitely meant he had something to tell her. It must be about why they had decided to move to Manhattan, why they had called her best friend's partner to tell him and not bothered mentioning it to her. It was all too bizarre. What could his excuse possibly be? As she walked briskly along the street, she wondered how Peter and Jamie had managed the previous night. Had they gotten into a mammoth fight? Or maybe they had indulged in one of the long love-making sessions that Jamie and Peter desired every day. Hmm, David had been like that. She remembered the time they had gone to the theater to see Joseph and the amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. After that, she had nicknamed him David and the Amazing Insatiable Cock. Now the Insatiable Cock was performing elsewhere. Too bad. A familiar face jogged by, a tall, rugged soap actor whom she spotted every weekend. They exchanged nods of recognition. Around the corner, she bumped into Bobo, the area's famous Scotch dog walker. Short and squat, with a mop of carrot-colored hair and numerous freckles, he was quite a character. Somehow, somehow or other, he managed 6 dogs while wearing a kilt and carrying a Saks shopping bag in which to deposit his charges offerings. That's what it is. You got a Saks Fifth Avenue bag to put poop in. Oh my God. Slammer was in love with one of Bobo's charges, Candy, a sexy miniature poodle who refused to have anything to do with him. Morning, miss, Bobo said, cheerful as ever. Morning, Bobo. How's it going? It's a wee touch chilly up the Khyber Pass, he said, with a saucy wink. But I'll live. Glad to hear it, she said, idly wondering if he wore anything under his kilt. If you ever need me, that'll have to if you ever need me to look after Slammer, just say the word, Bobo offered, fishing in his pocket for a dog treat that he proceeded to tempt Slammer with. I'll keep that in mind, Madison said, thinking how much she was looking forward to getting together with her father. The last time she had seen him was a few months ago, when he had spent a weekend in Connecticut at their house. She had rented a car and driven there on Friday night, returning to the city 24 hours later. Sometimes the anticipation of spending time with her parents was better than the actual event. When she had Michael to herself, she was much happier than when hanging out with both of them. Stella was hardly the warm and loving motherly type. Stella had languished in the garden, lying on a chassis on a chassis lounge under a stripped umbrella, sipping iced tea, while Madison was there and Michael had walked her around the grounds, showing off his roses. Isn't it awfully quiet here after New York? She had asked, surprised that he was so settled. I like it here, he said. No pressure. No action either, she replied. When I was a kid, you and Stella loved getting all dressed up and hitting the restaurants and clubs. Action was your middle name. Michael had nodded thoughtfully. Sometimes Stella misses the action, although most of the time she's perfectly happy, like me. Sometimes Madison couldn't help wondering if he had ever screwed around on the beautiful Stella. No, her father wasn't that kind of guy. Michael had integrity. Madison often wished that she would find a guy with integrity. It was more important than a great butt any day. Back at her apartment, she took a shower and tried to decide what to wear, finally settling on tight black pants, boots, and a man's white shirt knotted at the waist. For a chance, for a change, she wore her hair down, then added tinted shades. David had always liked her in tinted shades. Makes you look like a movie star, he used to joke. Ha! Only David would call her a movie star. She added a couple of crosses strung around her neck on black leather thongs and some Indian silver hoop earrings. Then, with nothing else to do while she waited for Michael, she picked up the she picked up the phone and called the private detective Victor had recommended. A woman answered the phone, terse and unfriendly. Yeah? Hi. I'm looking for K. Florian. You want to set up an appointment? That's right. Can you make it at 4 o'clock today? The weekend isn't good. How about Monday or Tuesday? Monday, 10 o'clock. Where? You want to come here? Or shall I come to you? Are you okay, Florian? An aggressive, what's the matter? You shocked I'm a woman? No, Madison said quickly. I guess I was expecting a man, but a woman's fine with me. I'll come to you then. What's the address? Uh, you do realize that this is confidential, right? You see, it's not me hiring you, it's my friend. So, I'll make sure she's here at 10 on Monday. What's this about? A cheating husband? How did you know? It's always the same story. A beat. Listen, if he's cheating, I can get the goods within 24 hours. Sounds very efficient. I'll give you my address. She did so, then decided she had better contact Jamie to let her know. Peter answered the phone. Bad news, he groaned. Me have major hangover. I'm not surprised. You are not? Why? Were you drinking with me last night? What did I do? No, I wasn't your drinking partner, but for a moment you were knocking it pretty good in front of me. Did I say something I shouldn't have? You were fine, Peter, really. Finally, remind me never to drink again. I always remind you of that. Even my eyelashes hurt. Is your wife around? Who, Jamie? He yelled. It's Maddie. Coming. He's crazy. He has lost his mind. He drinks too much. Coming, Jamie called out in the background. What are you up to today? He asked. Anything exciting? Meeting Michael for brunch. And what are you two shopping? He groaned. My punishment for being bad. Maybe I'll catch up with you guys later. You'll find us at Barney's, followed by Bergdorf's and Saks. Doesn't that sound like a fun afternoon for a reformed drunk? Jamie picked up the extension. Hi, she said happily. Or how are you today? Great, Madison said. And you? Last night was something, wasn't it? Jamie giggled. I had a lousy time. Can you imagine getting stuck next to Joel Blaine? I mean, really. Don't be so down on him, Jamie said. Joel's not so bad. In fact, I find him sort of attractive in an odd kind of earthly way. What? Peter said, still listening in on the other phone. The guy's a moron. His dad's the one with the smarts. You only say that because Leon's a multi-billionaire, Jamie said. You and money, Petey. You revel in it. So do you, sweet thing. So do you. Put down the extension, Peter. I'd prefer to speak to Madison without you joining in. Don't mind me, he said. I'm taking a cold shower and swallowing a bottle of aspirin. I'm still trying to understand why you didn't give them to me last night. You could have saved me a monster hangover. What am I, your nurse? Jamie said crisply. Oh, I forgot, Peter said. You were too busy flirting with Chris Phoenix. Hey, listen, guys, Madison interrupted. Much as I love listening to you two bicker, can you please do it on your own time? Sure, Peter said. See ya. And he clicked off. Has he gone? Madison asked. Yes, Jamie said. I can always tell if he's still listening in. You were having fun last night. As a matter of fact, I was, Jamie said, giggling softly. Chris Phoenix was saying some very flattering things. No big one, Jamie. You have been hearing very flattering things since you were 10. Guys have always been on your case. But Maddie, this was Chris Phoenix. We used to buy his records, follow his romances in the magazines. It's a huge kick being hit on by a guy like that. It'd be like Mick Jagger coming in on me. I'm sure that can be arranged anytime you want, Madison said dryly. Apparently, Mick Jagger comes on to anything that breathes. Oh, goddamn. Oh, my. Jamie laughed. Anyway, Madison continued, enough about your love life. Remember that thing we discussed? What thing? Jamie said vaguely. You know what I'm talking about. It's set for Monday, 10 o'clock. Excuse me, my apartment. Oh, you mean the detective thing? What's the matter? Well, Jamie said, hesitating for a moment. Do you honestly think I should go through with it? If you are suspicious, yes. I'm not so sure anymore. We had such a fantastic time last night when we got home. I know Peter was drunk and everything, and I was kind of like, well, I guess I was on a high. Getting hit on by a rock star certainly revs the old adrenaline. Are you saying you want me to call it off? No, I guess I should do it. No harm done, right? Only I'm not that suspicious anymore. Then don't do it, Madison said, exasperated. Nobody's forcing you. I'll call back and cancel. What would you do? It's not my situation, Madison said. I know how you hate making decisions, but this one is all yours. Okay, Jamie said. I'll do it. Just so I can say to myself, silly, suspicious me. That's a fair decision. Nothing lost, right? Right. Peter tells me you are going shopping at Barney's. Yes, my darling husband has promised to buy me whatever I want. A soft chuckle. And after last night, believe me, I deserve it. Madison was right. Michael Costelli was the best looking 48-year-old in Connecticut, 6 feet tall. He was slim and well built, with black curly hair, smooth olive skin, and the same sharply defined cheekbones and seductive lips as his daughter. They looked alike. This pleased Madison. Maybe she was prejudiced, but it seemed to her that age suited him. Michael got better looking each year. He wasn't handsome in the traditional way, not like that soap actor. I keep saying soap opera. Not like that soap actor she saw jogging every weekend. No, he had an A he had an Al Pacino, Robert De Niro edge, a look of danger, which apparently turned women on. Because for as long as I could remember, women had always had eyes on her father. Hi, Michael, she said. Hey, sweetheart, he said, hugging her. It's good to see you. You too, she responded. Still living by yourself? He inquired, strolling into her apartment. Why? Would you sooner have had a resident man? She teased, wishing she had had more of a chance to tidy up. I'd sooner you were married to a guy as opposed to married to a girl. Cut the comedy, I'm not joking. I'm only 29, she protested. Why this sudden desire to see me married off? 'Cause we live in a tough world, sweetheart, and I'd prefer to see you protected. She found herself giggling. Protected? You sound like a scene out of The Godfather. He threw her a look. I'm making another joke, she said. Slammer padded over and drooled on her black Armani pants. Michael didn't appreciate the dog's attention. He took a quick step back. Keep that animal away from me, he said, brushing off his pants. I hate dogs. You sound like Stella. Not me. Since it was such a clear and crisp morning, they decided to walk to the plaza. Madison felt pretty good strolling along Lexington with her father. She wished she could see more of him, but a few times a year was better than nothing. So, she said, as they headed towards the hotel, when am I going to hear what's going on? Can't you wait until I get a cup of coffee? He said. No, she replied, unable to hold back any longer. I'm really pissed, Michael. How could you not tell me you were moving back to the city? He looked at her blankly. What are you talking about? Anton told me. Who is Anton? And what did he tell you? Anton is Jamie's partner. They have an interior designing business. He told me that Stella called him about decorating your New York apartment. Did Stella tell him where she could be reached? I guess so. I didn't ask. What's going on? You are just like me, impatient. Have to know everything immediately. This isn't exactly immediately, she pointed out. I doubt you'd be telling me anything at all if I hadn't busted you on it. You know, if I didn't tell you, there'd be a reason, right? Right. So when am I going to hear? Jesus, he said irritatedly. Take it easy. Okay, I'll be patient. How is Stella anyway? And why didn't she come with you today? Michael stared straight ahead. No idea. Haven't seen her in a while. What? Oh, this is not good. What do you mean? How could you not see her when you two lived together? You couldn't wait until we were sitting down, could you? You couldn't wait until we were eating brunch like two civilized people, he said harshly. No, you have to find out now. He took a long, ominous beat. The reason I haven't seen Stella is because she left me. Stella tired of the boring thing. She wants some excitement. She did what? Madison said breathlessly. You heard me. Stella left me. You got it. Ran off with some 26-year-old kid. I don't believe it. Stella tired of the boring thing. Capone, what's up? Okay. Let me continue. I don't believe it. Believe it, he said flatly. It happened. But you and Mom, you've always been so close. That's what I thought. Then how did it happen? Who knows? He said evenly. I'm merely the guy who got left. Came home one day and she was gone. I haven't spoken to her since. Oh my God, Madison exclaimed, trying to digest this shocking news. That's the story, Princess, Michael said calmly. I guess it's her who is moving to New York, not me. They walked in silence for a few minutes until Madison suddenly stopped and faced him. How? How can you let her do this to me? Michael laughed dryly. Nobody's doing anything to you, he said. You are my parents, she said accusingly, knowing she sounded totally unreasonable but unable to stop herself. I don't want divorced parents. You don't want divorced parents, huh? He repeated. What are you, 8? No, she said heatedly. But I've always looked up to the two of you as an example. Your marriage was, well, anyway, I thought it was so idyllic. The two of you forever together. Everything isn't always what it seems. Stella wanted a younger body in her bed, harder abs, harder everything. Capone, what's up? A cold laugh. Hey guys, do it. All right, let me calm down. Hey, guys, do it all the time. Thing is, I don't happen to be that kind of guy. Madison clung onto his arm. Are you okay? She asked, realizing that he was taking this far too calmly. Me? I'm fine, he said. I was planning on telling you when I was ready. Didn't want to spring it on you out of nowhere. Another dry laugh. Guess we blew that. How long ago did this happen? A few weeks. Why hadn't she called me? You were nearly exactly close, were you? She is my mother. Don't you think I should have heard it from her? Madison, he sighed, you are all grown up now. You have got a great job interviewing lots of interesting people, and you do it well. You have achieved plenty, which I know wasn't easy. A long, slow beat. Truth is, you didn't always get the attention from either of us that you deserved, and somehow that bothers me. I guess, she mumbled, feeling totally mixed up and sad. It was you and Stella. I was the outsider. Capone, what's up? The wedding date? Give it to me. Talk to me. Don't get carried away. No, Michael, I was. That's why I'm so shocked at this news. Listen, sweetheart, he said, speaking fast. There's something else I have to tell you. Something that might help you understand things better. What? She asked, holding on to his arm tighter. I'll have to wait until we are seated. She nodded blankly. Today was definitely going to be a day to remember. So she feel like it way. Tired of the boring thing, wants some excitement. She know what she got the type. That is the end of chapter 7 of this book, Lethal Seduction by Jackie Collins. A great book. Lovely book. Yeah. So we are going to continue reading. It is now almost 9 o'clock. Time for me to go wash my ear and get myself together for work in the morning. I'm hoping to enjoy the reading of the book. I enjoyed reading the book for y'all. For us all. Yeah. The book is rather interesting. When we come back, maybe if we wake up early in the morning, early enough, I will read a few more chapters. If you don't catch me, you don't catch me. If you don't catch me, I feel no bad luck. But I want to finish reading this book before the week ends. Yeah. So tomorrow we start reading chapter 8. And we'll read a chapter a day during this week. And hopefully by the weekend we should be done reading this book. So I can give to somebody else to read it. About us, it's a freaky ass book. Amelia, behave yourself. Behave yourself. You hear the name of the book? It says Lethal Seduction. So yeah, what to expect with Lethal Seduction. Y'all get some of that kind of stuff in it. Yeah. You hear them already a plan assassination, them already a cheat, married woman a sleep with people. Yeah, you already know where it's going. It's erotic, it's dangerous, it's yeah, and then it has all the names of all these celebrities in there and all. I want to see if there's any more mention of anybody. Yeah, she said she gets to interview the Donald and all these other people. She are going with herself. So we are going to continue. We will continue tomorrow. Okay, guys. You can't wait to hear more. Well, the good thing about it is when I'm reading tomorrow morning, you are going to be, if you are not here, you can always go back on the tube and listen to it. That's the good thing. Yeah, that's one good thing. Yeah, so that's gonna be it, guys. That's it. I want to say thanks to everybody who came into the live. Those of you who came in and listeners, I'm gonna have to read tomorrow more. All right, let's do a vote. Let's do a vote. Those of you who are here, are you up early in the morning, or are you up late at night? Is this time of the night tomorrow night better for you? Because I'll be home. What time is it now? 8:48. So I'm going to be home by 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Oh, you are in California, so you are 3 hours behind. I'm going to be home by 8 o'clock tomorrow. So I could read this book at this time when I get home. How about that? Yeah. So what am I going to read in the morning? What am I going to read in the morning when I wake up? The Bible? Maybe. I don't know. But tomorrow night, this time, I'll do the reading. Wait, where this little moth came from? Yeah, so I'll read it. Where's the moth come from? Yeah, so I'll read this book in the morning, tomorrow night around the same time when I get home from work. Okay? All right. So that's where we're going to end for tonight. I will see you all again sometime tomorrow. All right, everybody. So now go ahead and have yourself a good night. I'm going to head off right now so that I can get myself together. Miss Ting and Kim and the others. Buenas noches, mi amor. Yep. Hasta mañana. Okay, my friends, see you all later. Have yourselves a great night, guys. Where did the motor come from?